What are you good?
Yeah, well, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out
Happy
there.
Mother's Day, ladies.
You mother.
Gotta help your wife.
Winning.
Gotta help your wife.
Better lock your wife up with a 4-inch killer.
Oh, she hugs this thing all day long.
Guys hugging his own pillow.
It's not gay. It's not gay.
You spray your cologne on it for your wife to hug it?
Mm.
I don't know how much I can live. I'm gonna die already.
Look at that.
Yeah, we can't make John laugh too much. He's recouping.
You ain't kidding.
You want a pillow, John? Anybody want a pillow? Any one of you guys want a pillow?
My wife might want one. I don't know. I'll ask her.
I'm pretty sure I would end up living in the shed if I brought that into the house. You know?
The good thing with me is that its name's Chris, so she won't get the name
Whoa,
wrong.
whoa, Chris.
Whoa, easy, Mom. Easy, Mom.
That's not gay.
Yo, $20 is $20, bud.
Don't you roll over my wife's Mother's Day today, you son of a bitch.
Send her one of those pillows. That'll make it.
Without center pillow.
Oh God. Oh,
Yes, he had a
man.
penis pillow, literally.
I'll give you a little pocket pillow.
I see. He probably has a little Velcro strip there that you can attach certain things to it, and God, oh my God,
Attach a pillow.
attach a pillow. There's probably a market for that somewhere.
So you got to tune in early to catch it.
Let's go through and say hi to some people because we do have some people tuning in tonight. Tara, Voodoo Doll,
Ta-da.
what's going on?
Yoo-hoo, queen.
Yes, the Yoo-hoo Queen. Oh, John CIA. He's
Uh-oh.
secret man now.
Dun, 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 dun,
Jamie,
dun.
another channel member. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Jamie?
Dustin, what's going on? Clowning around pythons. Thanks for tuning in.
What's up,
Good to
Dustin?
see you.
Hey, Dustin.
Marcus and Tiffany. What's
Marcel,
going on? Again, we lost John.
Marcus and Tiffany. It's an important meeting. Oh, he's back.
Now he's gone. He said the
He told you 1 minute.
He was on the phone. It's probably Nathan.
It probably is. Nate's probably going, why in the hell did Chris bring out the pillow and do that? Jolly, what's going on? Good to see you. Holly, if Holly's within hearing distance, happy Mother's Day, Holly.
Happy Mother's Day.
Let's see. Brittany, what's going on, Brittany? Good to see you.
What's up, Brittany?
And Kike, what's going on,
Kike.
Kike? Bro.
The mother of all, you motherless.
Dude, Kike's probably, I swear, I still think this man takes every phone in the house every evening and runs a podcast off of each phone.
Oh, well,
If there's multiples, yeah, he does. He's got like an iPad. And
well, I found out that now there's at least three or I think three other podcasts that run the same time as my show now.
Mhm.
And I used to be the only game on at this time on Sunday.
Not anymore, bub.
What the world?
I had to talk to the mother, man.
All right, you get.
I thought that was
maybe
Bang
Nate
Daddy.
was calling and telling you got to come in early and asking what the hell was up with Sorrentino so quick.
Nah, he's too busy, man. I'm talking to Bang Daddy all weekend.
Damn.
No.
Shout out, Gray Rider.
He probably took Sharon out for a hell of a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
She took him out for a weekend. Who weekend?
Yeah, he had a long week this week. He had his birthday this week.
Oh, yeah.
Day. So
He has had an eventful week. I know I have had an eventful week. Friday, I got rained out with all the rain we had going through. But then it was also window install day. The guys came to install all new windows in the house, new sliding glass door there for the patio. So we've got all new windows, and they knocked the thing out in a day. I'm kind of surprised.
Oh,
Who was it? Who did it?
It was Renewal by Anderson.
Oh, nice. Good. I've heard good stuff about them.
So I was very pleased with what they had shown us. I'm very pleased with the product. Like, we were outside because Hadley's birthday party was yesterday. So we were outside, and I'm looking at like the back of the house, and my mom's like, "What are you staring at?" It's like, I need new siding now. It's like the windows make my house look like shit.
Yeah, so they recapped them and everything, so it's all like new and shiny. Yeah.
Dude, everything, like, it's freaking fantastic. We even changed the window design. So, like, the rooms actually look bigger when you're there in the room. Like, it
Nice.
was fantastic. Super happy with the product. But it was expensive. It did make me slightly cry.
Yeah, windows like that, getting that shit done are expensive each. But the long term that you're gonna save with heating, cooling, all that shit.
Well, you figure the windows that were originally in the house were as old as me. The house, well, actually, they were like a year older than me. So they were like 39 years old.
Windows are not cheap.
No. It was definitely a needed upgrade. And then we had Hadley's birthday party Saturday. So that was just chaos.
Crazy time.
Oh my God. We had Anna and Elsa from Frozen here.
Oh boy.
And we had bounce houses, and Mother Nature gave us like a natural little stream going there in the swale that's behind the house. That was laying with some water in it. So kids were running up and slipping, sliding down through the swale. It was just like, everybody kept looking at me like, "What's wrong, Jeremy?" I was like, "They're not my kids. They're not my kids. My kids are right there. I can see them. The other ones, I don't care. They're not my kids."
Yep.
Get a special guest appearance from Obi.
Obi. See, we needed John and Obi and Jawa to be on the last show. That's what we needed. We needed the Star Wars household to be like,
yeah, yep. Obi's the Highlander. He's the one without the tail.
Yeah, he's a bobcat.
Bobcat.
He's born that way. It's not cropped. So if anybody thinks I'm like horrible, it's cat's tail.
Cut it off. Animal cruelty.
Wrap a rubber band around it.
Yeah, M&B, what's up? Good to see you, bro. Another
what's up, Matt? I'll see you this week.
Tail. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't crop it, man.
Brittany says that they have a lock with a cypress banana clam, leopard spot nose het cryptic. Very
nice. Krypton content.
Yeah.
Julie got her snake this week.
Ooh.
Nice.
Julia.
And look at this guy, the Python Prince himself. There he is. Him away after last show.
What is up, Blake?
He might want one of my pillows.
Yeah. Blake, you want one of them pillows?
You want a pillow, Blake?
Blake's just like, oh, unsubscribe now. This shit just went too far.
Nah, he'd say yeah and support you all the way. You know it.
Oh man, so,
you couldn't scare him away last week.
Might be too plump.
Sorrentino couldn't scare him away last week. You know.
He's got thicker skin.
Dude, I've got to say this week, and I want to talk about this too for tonight.
Wow.
This week, as far as snakes have gone, has been so freaking aggravating. So aggravating.
We still talk about snakes on the show.
Sometimes
occasionally
we wear masks and helmets and just sit here and nod.
I didn't know if they were still a thing or not. I don't know. Just want to make sure.
Oh man, let me run the first channel sponsor. We'll get into.
Don't have them.
Yeah, we do, surprisingly. Yeah, I do feel bad though because I
don't have a commercial.
Yeah, Sorrentino, that's because you're here every week. You are your ad. You are your ad.
We do got to update commercials.
We do need to. Yes, I know. I actually
4 years old.
The ads I'm going to run here, I just updated, and I need the man that it's for to send me some pictures that I've requested, so that way I can get some photos in the ad a little bit more than the few that I've got.
You talking to me?
Job, Jeremy.
No, not you.
No. You need that crew to come get pictures.
What's that?
You're gonna need to send out your crew to get more pictures, man. This production's low.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to get your ass in your car and come get some more pictures, man, to keep this show going.
Yep.
What I need to do is I need to do a facility tour.
An advertising day. Yep. There you
At
go.
your place, John, and Sorrentino's and Shelley's and Nate, if we can ever nail him down.
That's all. Yeah, you have to do. That's on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nate's gonna be the tougher one to nail down on that one. Yeah, I hate bugging poor Nate because it does seem like he's always so freaking busy with everything going on. But all right, let's run the first two channel sponsors and then we'll get into this show, folks.
ShedTesting.com is your premier choice when it comes to shed testing. Charlie is adding new tests on a regular basis, so make sure to stop by often to see what's been added to the website. Let ShedTesting.com shave years off of your breeding plans. They're fast, accurate, and can't be beat. Don't forget to use the code CARPET15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order. ShedTesting.com. Use the best.
See, I need more pictures. I wanted some special fancy pictures from Charlie, and he didn't get them to me yet.
Oh, that's all right.
Here is our other channel sponsor, which I feel really bad because he's supposed to be on for weekly videos, and man, it's been hard for me to get weekly videos out. But we can touch base on that too, and maybe I can get some ideas from everybody as well on something to do. But here we go.
Scaled Paranoia is owned and operated by Greg Klein and his wife. They're a husband and wife team that are focusing on ball pythons and western hog noses. Their 2025 ball python projects are Kikis, G-Stripe, Hypo, Mandarin, Astro, and Furrow. So make sure you head on over to Scaled Paranoia and check them out. Scaled Paranoia. Let us help you get over your fear of reptiles.
All right, let's see. Oh, Blake says that your pillow is amazing, Sorrentino.
I told you he'd
I
support
told
it.
you, dude. I told you.
It's a round pillow.
Ball Stars, Jeremy, what's going on? Thanks for
What's up,
tuning in.
Jeremy?
I do want to do dang, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. I want to change this
Jeremy
back.
just did a shed test on one of the snakes he received from me and proved it to be double het clown and pied, lace, yellow belly.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hit a home run with that one.
Yeah.
Add some green tree to the background for a change tonight.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that sucker's shed. And shades have changed.
All right. I didn't get any pictures. Sure.
The green, well, because the pictures don't show the shade change as well as in person does. He's not as dark. He lightened up just a touch. But nothing that looks blue now. So,
All
I
right.
don't know. We'll see. Happy. Jeremy was happy for that one.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm happy he was able to get one.
Happy.
Joy.
Let's go over some updates for all of us. I've got 4 clutches, which is part of my aggravation. I've got 4 clutches that are due to be laid now at this point. 1 carpet clutch, which, Shelly, you need to yell at your girl, which is down there. You need to yell at her, tell her to get her crap together and start pumping these suckers out.
Hey, she's in your care. You deal with that now.
Yeah,
I
but she
signed
doesn't
her up.
respect me, apparently. I'm a very prompt and precise person. She does not respect my authority.
I've been hearing about this damn carpet laying now since 2024. I mean,
Yep. The other one
oh my god.
is what is the other? The other one is for John's one boy sire, the GHI, Mojave, Leopard, double hypo clown. One of his clutches is overdue.
Mm-hmm.
I have an Exantic clown clutch overdue. And I've also got now a bang clutch that is like 2 days overdue. So I'm not like the bang clutch gets a little bit of a slide just because it has just now passed overdue. But nonetheless, the bang clutch, I'm like, damn it, lay. Like, now I want to get the mags out.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that
Kick 'em
bang
out.
hypo. I'm waiting for that bang hypo clown clutch.
I got about 25 due within about a month. Well,
That's like my whole season.
all within a month, dude. I only have 3 clutches out so far, which is kind of crazy. This is the
That is crazy.
least I've had since the day I basically really started being like all balls is going to be my thing.
You always start like that, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, though, at this time of year, I'm usually like 12, 13, like just cruising and then get pounded.
Mhm.
This year, I've sold a lot of the girls off last year as they were lame because of room and stuff. So what happened this year is like we went real deep now, 3, whatever deep. Now we're going to get pounded. So our actual first wave, it's going to be normal. It just feels different this year because usually like 13, 20 clutches is rolling around right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, so planning for the shows this year is a lot different for me because like usually I'm like always have babies come the 3 big shows, the Gettysburg 3 dates, the Repticon 3 dates, and all that shit. Well, this year's different. So pulled out a lot of holdbacks this year for show stuff to this point. But we shall see, man. We're gonna get hammered here in a few.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get hammered in June.
Okay.
In May, June, July was usually when I get it hammer time, and then a couple sporadically after June and August, and then we're done. Like
Yeah, June's heavy.
So I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of not. Like, I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Nice.
Freaking loving this little break of like not having to deal with it, but I can't wait to see what's coming on top of it. So
Yeah, Jolly's gonna go crazy this year, man.
Yeah, Jolly's gonna go nuts.
If they had picked up a
I've got
lot.
3 in the incubator. The Bang clutch is due to hatch this week. So Bang possible double head exantic clown stuff is due to hatch this week. I actually pulled the press and seal off just in that way.
Damn, they're already ready to hatch, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know it went by that went by fast. I remember when you're talking about freaking pulling that.
Mm-hmm.
it really did go by fast.
I was gonna say that 56 days went by fast.
Yeah.
56 days ain't shit anymore, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well,
It's
time's flying by when you get older, I guess.
You are right though. It flies by so fast after.
It ain't shit anymore.
Nope.
Well, we all stay so freaking busy though. That's the problem.
Mhm.
Like we're constantly. It's like just we wake up and we go until like basically midnight. I feel for probably all of us.
I used to feel it used to take forever, man. It was like, oh my god, when are they gonna hatch? Like,
Yep.
I remember them days like it was yesterday. Now I'm like, oh my god, can you just hold off another 3 months? Like you can.
See, my problem is though, is like I need stuff for sale for sure.
Yeah.
And that clutch, there's nothing that's for sale out of that one. Like that's all I got to say here, because at the very least, it's, Bang,
Hi, Miles.
head exantic stuff that'll be staying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's all stuff that's got to stay.
This year's going to be crazy. I think we're going to see a lot of moving pieces with the ball python market. A lot of good stuff like coming. Like I said, we went back to a lot of what we used to do, and not saying like not meaning that we did something crazy different, but a lot more just visually hard hitting stuff that got forgot about. Bringing it back. It's basically what we're going to try to do is like
bringing it back.
Not going to be all about it. She'll have heads and stuff like that, but it's not going to be all about the recessive game, because I think the recessive game is just being stacked on top of each other over and over and over again, and genes just aren't going in the way they should.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is people are just injecting common genes. I mean, just making more instead of making visually like stuff that's just not really common.
Agreed.
So
I'm telling you, you have problems selling heads anymore.
I think
depends on the head, right? It depends on the snake. It's just, I think it's people are getting like in their brain. We're always talking about make recessive, but I think like when somebody new hears that, they're not really thinking like, well, make recessive with a gene that's not too common, right? They're just like, well, I got a Mojave and I got a pastel, so they're going to shoot for a pastel clown or something because we're telling them to make recessive, or whoever's saying it, which wasn't really the right way to really probably do it, because you probably would have been better off using an acid blah 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 to make a head, or doing this or doing that to try to move a project forward instead of making more of what's just available out there for sale.
Yeah,
I think that has a lot to do with the market right now. On top of it, just the grasp of actually knowing what we mean, or what anybody's really talking about by adding genetics to move forward with, instead of just adding genetics just to sell it. Or you can only hold so much of that shit back.
Yeah.
If all your focus is making a double visual, a triple visual, a quad visual, And if that's all your focus and you're not worrying about the other incomplete DOMs being put into it, you're going to get to a spot and you're going to have to start all freaking over again, basically.
Well, that's what a recessive game is all about. And like I said, I don't think anybody really talks enough about that. As soon as you want a co-dominant gene into a recessive project, Jeremy, you're 100% correct. It is a absolute hard reset.
Yep.
Because even you can have the triple, you can have a quad, but if say you have a gene like we'll just talk about like one that's top out there, like not many have. Bang. You have to then take that gene, inject it in to make your whatever hets to bring it back to your visuals at some point, which is it's a year's game. Basically 2 years for a male, 3 years for a female on average, blah, blah, blah. Then you got to hit. That's an odds game. So basically it's a double whammy. And then that's just one gene, right? Now say you wanted to the bang fire yellow belly. Oh, shit. Now we just turned it up. Because if you don't have the bang fire yellow belly to take to your quad or your triple or even your double, so you have to make that with something else to a clown and bring it back. Hope it hits.
3 more years.
It is. It's a hard reset. And everybody right now is chasing the quad, right? They're chasing that triple. They're putting a single gene in it. Pastel, Mojave, yellow belly, fire. Like all these genes has been around for 30 years. But that you hit that. Cool. Where do you go now? Well, get ready for the hard reset because you want that quad triple into that next gene. You might be better off doing the long game. Like literally taking the genes in the beginning, taking the
Daisy's then.
Bang heck clown to the
They can't see it.
Ghost fire yellow belly heck,
What
are you? You actually can knock yours off by doing that. And people are forgetting you can do that shit, so all them snakes are sitting.
Yeah.
They're going for the gusto, man. Like they're gonna realize at some point it was the wrong way to go because timeline. People don't understand timelines when you haven't done it.
As I said, I think that's everybody wants that instant gratification, and they don't look at this as it's not a sprint. This whole game is a freaking marathon. That's all this is. It's a long, never-ending freaking marathon.
And we're getting in a realm too that so much of this is being done is devalued other snakes because everybody's like the lines get blurred, right? They're like, well, this is only worth this, so this can't be worth that. But we're going, well, there's 30 of them, right? There's only 2 of these. If you need these genes more than you need that single gene, what is that doubles? I'm even going to talk triples because that's getting like wild and crazy. Just say doubles, right? Like just say you have a fire clown pie or a fire clown ghost, something I work with. It's a male, right? What do you take that? Where do you go with that? Yeah, you can go into a normal clown hypo, right? And you can make you another fire double, and you might hit 1 or 2 of them in a clutch of 8, right? Because of the odds and shit. You might be lucky to hit 1 or 2, and just say it's another male.
But as I say, you didn't move anything freaking farther. You made the same thing that you've already got.
You moved the needle nowhere. You made your visuals. You can sit there, block it off your bucket list. I made a clown hypo. Cool, it's a girl. You'll hold that back because, that's a cool little hold back girl that has some freaking power.
I wish I had a girl.
Right. I'm saying, dude, I'm talking from experience. I've been doing this like 4 years with the clown.
Male head.
I just hit them like last year, a couple girls. And I hit the couple, 2 years ago, whatever. But I hit 3 girls now. It's my moral of my story. Okay, you hit that. But would you have been more beneficial to take your clown fire hypo into we'll just say you had an acid heck clown, possible het pied or something crazy cool, whatever. I think you'd have been more beneficial going that way, testing for the heck ghost, because now you added acid, you got fire, you got a double head, and you have a possibility of a het pied, and maybe that lined up on a male or female. Now you hold that male back. That little cool hypo girl is freaking growing. Now that's a good little male for her. Because now he's a year after her, she's a whole year older. And then you can even, in the meantime, since he's going to breed a year, you can even go for a little bit, push it a little harder. Take him into Orange Dream, maybe the next step is, or Yellow Belly. And you might hit the whatever, acid, Yellow Belly, Orange Dream. And that baby might be ready before that clown hypo is ready.
Yeah.
Right? And then you take that little monster, 4 gene combo, freaking double head. Now maybe it's possible, triple head. And you jam that thing in your clown ghost. Now you're talking. You didn't just make hypo clowns. You didn't just make fire hypo clowns. You didn't add a gene like Mojave or freaking like some of these basic genes, a pastel or like whatever. People really look for genes. What do you see the most of? Pastel, fire, yellow belly. Why? Because that's the stuff that started this thing. People have been breeding them and breeding them and breeding them, been byproduct forever. So you gotta. Them genes are great. They're all enhancement genes, but you gotta find a gene that's gonna take it to the next level. A gene like a mahogany, a blackhead, something always has to be your base with all the ingredients around. Is always my theory. You have to have your entree and all your sides.
Yep.
So your main course is like main course. I wouldn't even consider bang the main course of a gene right now. Like that's an enhancing gene to me. So my main course genes will be something that's like visually striking, black pastel. Then I'll put the bang on top, a little yellow belly spritz with a little fire. Maybe we'll hit some little Trojan outside of it. So
Sprinkle.
pied, and then ghost clown. You know what I mean? Like we are literally, if anybody like it does cook and write, it's what we're doing. We are taking ingredients and trying to make the best damn entree you ever had.
Live in art, baby. Live in art.
You know, but that's why I do a lot of stuff. Like people are like, John, why are you reverse engineering that or not or taking it this way? Why are you making all them genes in one snake and then bringing it to clown ghost? That could have been.
Why are you making them Frankensteins?
I could have been making clown ghost for 4 years before I did it, but I wanted 7-8 genes of that, my favorite genes, into the combo before I started really making them and pushing them.
Yep.
Because if I just made fire, clown, pie, or clown ghost and yellow bellies, they sell a couple $100 now in this market. But if I put out a mahogany or say a blackhead clown hypo, which has never even been sold on morph market yet, well, that's going to freaking raise an eyebrow.
Yep.
There's none for sale. So I rather did the legwork for the last 5 years, making the blackheads in them and all these cool genes. Then when 2025 or 2026 happens, I'm able to push this stuff out there. This is the snakes I could sell you, not stuff I'm holding back anymore. Now it matters because now you actually can get into it. And I already made them, so I've been holding them back for the last couple of years, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to keep making this stuff. No, now you got an opportunity to make this stuff. And that's the stuff, like I said, as a new breeder, that's what you should be striving to make is stuff that you can't just buy. If you can just buy it, you probably should strive as your main product to make. And I'm not talking about if you can buy like 3 or 4, right? I'm not talking about the thousands of dollars. I'm talking about if you type in and you see 38 of them pop up. It's probably not a great holdback.
Yeah.
I mean, free for a project, you get it cheap, you throw it in a rack, blah, blah, blah. But like, it shouldn't be a focus.
Yeah.
Or a course where I'm taking everything.
Brittany's got a good question here. What's our rules with babies and when they're ready for sale? Do you go by size or number of meals?
I go by meals mostly. I go by if I feed them and they seem very good at eating first. Then you feed them again, they eat no problem. They eat no problem. They eat no problem. By the 4th or 5th meal, I'm like, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
You should really be able to feel your babies out. Like some of them are shy at first. They'll go weird way. Maybe they're shy the second time. But if they're literally at the front of their bin snapping that food instantly, they're probably going to be really decent to go up to 5-6 grams. I try about 100 grams to try to get them up to. Depends how small the clutch was. But 80 to 100 grams, I'll start feeling if they're eating great, I'll release them.
So for me, it's 5 meals, in, back to back, no refusals between that 5. And then the big weight thing for me comes into play with shipping. I don't like shipping them if they're under, 100 grams. They've got to be at that 100 gram or basically right at that crest of that 100 gram mark to ship.
This year, it's like, I don't even know how to explain this like on a live or anything. This year, I had my smallest ball pythons at the age they were. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Say the ball python was 3 months or 4 months. This is the smallest they pretty much ever might have been. Was this past year, and they're eating great. They're just not putting on solid, crazy bulk weight like I have seen in the past. I did switch my feeding up this year. I usually feed about the first 5-6 meals weekly. I will pull them off the 5-6 meals to every 2 weeks. The reason I do that, because like I said, they hold it. They don't usually even ship by the time they freaking take that second meal. They ship like a couple days after that. So they're actually even holding a little bit more, but they didn't grow like crazy this year. Now, I don't know if it was a freak thing. I had a couple smaller clutches this year, but they are eating great. They will go to somebody, though, which I've studied this with a little bit because I sold a lot of these ball pythons to people, and they talk to me all the time about this shit. They exploded because they went back to weekly. So they literally took all that weight that maybe they weren't gaining and just went poof, and then exploded for them. Which to me
Something dumb.
might be even a better way of like doing it because, like I said, the snakes are pulverizing when the new person gets them. Becoming a fantastic eater on top of being like bulking.
See, mine seem. I've only ever had like a handful of them not grow consistently. Like, I'll feed every week, say until they hit about that 200 gram mark. After they hit that 200 gram mark, it's every 2 weeks. Then after that, they go on the same schedule as the adults, but they're getting a meal that's letting a lump in the belly. You know, like they're not just getting something little; it's letting a little bit of a lump. But
about 125, 130, I'll start moving them. They were small babies, 60, 70 grammars, shit like that. But 200, yeah, that's about average. Me too. About every 2 weeks, I'll pull them off on about roughly 200 grams, 175.
What about you guys?
Same thing as John said. You know, I know some people they'll usually they'll wait till like the baby's on rat pups. I know.
The reason, just so everybody knows, the reason I went to start doing that with babies is we were making babies and we were even selling babies even faster, maybe even this year. But I was having them outgrow baby tubs too fast. And then literally, like, if you're in the business of selling ball pythons, we all know, like, babies do better than anything over 250. As soon as they hit like 250, it could be pretty as hell, it don't matter. There's something about a newer pet person or whatever, like a newer person, they want small. They want to raise this thing up since little. Your breeders will buy 250 and above. Like, oh, cool, it's already well started and all that shit. But like, the typical pet people want baby, and like it's just a thing. So I started like pulling them back to the 2 weeks until I started it because they were eating right ferocious the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 meals, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch, man, gonna eat me out of house at home." First of all, I was like, and I need an upgraded bin already, which, shit, I'm running out of those quick. Like when that happens, what they all start doing, when you have 50 babies all need the upgrade tub at one time, that's problematic.
Yeah.
So that's when I stopped feeding every week. Like I fed every week for the first 7, 8 years of doing this, like a knucklehead. And I started doing the numbers and shit. We were losing thousands. I mean, realistic. Like you're doing.
Dude, that's why I started
snakes every
supplementing
week.
and breeding my own.
Right.
So, you know, with that soft furs.
And I felt that they were, when they would go to somebody after, like I said, when I flipped it to the 2 weeks, it felt like it was just even better for them. Like they were no problems eating at all.
Yep.
They would get them slamming food. I would get a call like every 2 weeks. So it's like, my God, dude, you got the best eating snake I've ever freaking bought off anybody. And then the joke was like, I'm starving them. You know what I mean? Like, they're eating, right? I can talk this shit on myself because, like I said, going every 2 weeks might be unheard of for somebody to food, right?
Yeah.
It was taboo back in the day. Like, they need their food. They need to eat it every week. And I'm like, nah, man.
If you're out in the wild, they're not even finding it every week. They might not be finding it every 2 weeks.
I think it's just finally getting comfortable to talk to regular people about this shit. Because, like I said, back 3 years ago, you said this shit. He don't feed his snakes. He's taboo. Like, he's da. And I found we've done, like I said, I've done so much research on this because I'm not just about just making cool comments. Like, I'd love to know everything there is to know about feeding schedules with these things, how to track them, how they're moving, when they're going to lay, all that shit. I took all this data in over all these years. Like, you know, when they start slowing down food to grow follicles and all this crazy shit. Well, the babies was an experiment too for every 2 weeks. And God damn it, like I said, since I've started it, the girls are being more receptive to breeding in the 3 years than the girls I didn't do that with in the same 3 years. And it's not like a proof hard fact. Like, this is exactly why, because I did 2 week thing. It's just, it seems like the girls were getting there faster. Because when I moved them up their bins, I would feed them every 2 weeks, but I would feed them two smalls, maybe 2 mediums when they're building. Take that 2 weeks off and let them regurgitate it. Let them freaking out. What do you call that? What do they eat when they digest it? Digest it. Poop. Again. When I felt when I was feeding them before they would poop, I felt sometimes they would deny food. So it would be a week off anyway. So what was the point? And then he stressed them by trying to give them the food.
Yeah. Well, I noticed too, like, it seems like when you feed them every week, one, they crap a lot more often, and it's freaking humongous because they're not. Their body's not fully absorbing everything they can out of that first meal before the second meal's coming down through, and kind of pushing that first one out.
Coming down the pike.
No, yeah, there's been like guys online, they got a 2-year-old snake that's like 300 grams. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's not feeding, dude.
That's
totally different. Like
That's that like aggressive maintenance feeding.
that's
Aggressive.
that's feeding once a year. Like let's be realistic. That's like feeding every 2 months. If you got a snake that's 2 years old, 300 grams, I've seen. Don't get me wrong either. I've seen some balls, man, not grow. Like there are such things as pygmy balls. I don't care what anybody says. I got a snake here, dude. She's 5 years old. She is one of the hardest hitting eaters since she's been a baby. She just now in her 6th year hit fucking 1,450 grams.
Jeez.
I tried that little shit, dude. I put a male on her one time because I'm like, you're 6 years old. She's got great body composition. She's short. Dude, she took instantly. As soon as I put that male in her, she's grown foul because she blew up from freaking 12 millimeters to 28 millimeters in a month. I said, okay.
That's the same thing. I've got the same thing going on with my high OD super Enchi girl.
She's a pygmy.
She's just small. I mean, she's like 4 years old now. She had the follicles going. She would eat medium rats. She was just small.
Dude, I told him, I swear to God, there's a dwarf gene in ball pythons. I swear to God.
The craziest thing, Jeremy, is that girl. I had her brother. I kept them back. They were freaking in a clutch together. The male got to 2,100 grams, dude. It was one of my biggest males I've ever had. And trust, you know how many girls, time that freaking girl got molested to make sure she didn't have hemipenes? Like, did I fuck this up?
Dude, that's a big male.
You know?
Right.
So the male, like I said, he was clutch mate, same parents, same exact morph. Just she was ghost possible heck clown, and he was clown possible or clown heck ghost. So it was like, and I still have them to this day, like both of them. She finally just, like I said, she got to the size. It's so weird. Pygmy snakes, man, they're a thing.
I've noticed that with some females will definitely grow at a slower rate no matter how much you feed them. But I've also noticed that you can control very easily, obviously, control how fast they grow by how much you feed them. But not saying that like starving them to control their growth. But in that same fact, if you have a snake that's 3 or 4 years old and all of a sudden you hit that animal with, say you hit it with 10 rats over a course of 2.5 months or 2 months, I don't care what time of the year it is, that thing probably will go for you. It'll build and just go into its cycle for you because it was so steady its whole life, and then all of a sudden, boom, you gave it this huge amount of food, you put a male with it. I had about 6 females so far that I kind of manipulated that way. They were smaller girls, and I didn't get them real big, and I knew they were just going to be like just this one-time breeding season just to get some combos and see what they were. I didn't feed them a ton over the summer. They didn't breed last year. And then this year, around November, December, bam, I fucking slammed them with food, threw a male in there, and I have half those clutches now. I'm sitting.
Oh, wow.
They all do their weird things, man.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as All-Star, I love freaking numbers. I love freaking like cat. One thing I never really done was like the.
Oh wow!
I wish I would have.
You can probably see it on Morph Market at least for those sales, but
right.
Shows and stuff like that.
I mean, I really wish I. Don't get me wrong. I know what my money makers are. Like I know if I breed X snake to X snake, they're selling instantly and whatever. We're not even talking about like what the numbers were because they were just gold. But they're like, as far as like dead ass, but like, oh, this snake made me 10 grand or this snake made me 30,000 or whatever. Yeah, no, I never calculated that out.
I think it's a lot easier. Like I'll use myself for an example on this one. If you're doing different species, you can calculate that a lot easier per species.
Yes.
Like I would say, on average, a carpet sells around $500 on average. And that's kind of that good round number. So you've got your lower end ones, you've got your ones that are extreme exceptions. Meet in the middle. You're right around that 450, 500.
It's so hard with balls because like the carpet, you got carpets, right?
Same thing with the colubrids.
Same as it's balls are just like you can literally take this insane male to this insane female, and you can pop out a normal if they're not supers and that right. And I've had clutches where literally I put 2 snakes together and 6 came out and they were nothing. Like a hobby here, a pastel here, a normal here. Well, 4 normal here. Shit, I've seen some shit. And then
your odds are more scarce to hit those 4 normals than it is to hit the 6 or 7 Dolginer, dude. Fucking stupid.
So I'm the guy to put bananas together. Like, oh, bananas make males. Well, motherfucker, I was making male non-bananas in my male clutches, man. Like, what the freak was that about? Like, you're supposed to be like, oh, your females are all going to be freaking whatever. Your non-bananas are going to be all female. No, I was getting 3 males with 3 male bananas. Like, I was like, okay. But anyway.
But even with the bananas, they can even throw you the curveball, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I've had them break the rules.
You want to hear
my male gave me almost 1 female every year for the last 5 years when I was breeding them.
What built us? My first ever hard-hitting snake ever. We were making cool stuff. But my first snake that was X over $2,000 was a banana combo.
That's right.
And Chris got the freaking brother to this. It was a banana heck clown male, clown female. Well, I had 9 eggs with it. We hit like 5 or 6 bananas. 1 was female. And she was the first one to pitch. So my first banana ever hit, my banana clown female.
Nice.
Oh, wow, really?
After having a black pastel, I was in banana 3 years before that. 4 years, fuck. I had a banana black pastel I got off of Ian when they were basically shipping them. He was pretty damn expensive. He never bred for me. You can ask Rico.
I love this story.
I love this story. Did he have little heavy beans?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, hemp bean. I freaking literally walked by Don Creeker's table and freaking had my banana, my banana black pastel male. And I just laid it on his table, and he goes, "What the hell is this?" And they were still going for about $500, $600, $700 at the time, because literally it's 4 years old at this point. So imagine what I paid for him. But anyway, I put him on his table. He said, "What's this for?" I was like, "You can have it." He's like, "What? That son of a bitch been breeding for me for 4 fucking years." He just looked at me. He's like, "You just gave me a $7." I was like, "Damn right." I was like, "I'll give you another one if I had a freaking banana." Like, the banana was like one of my nemesis genes. I used to call it when I first started. I couldn't make one, so I lost. I lost a lot of money, but not making. I literally lose anything because I didn't make anything, but it was fucked up. It's still nightmares about it to this day.
Do you remember what year you got him in, John?
15? 14?
15. I got. It's funny how these stories go full circle.
Tell me on this pillow where it hurt you.
In the nipple.
It's lower, Chris, and turn them around. It's a lot lower and turn them. Oh, then we can talk about where it hurt me. Hurt me in my big toe.
It's funny how the stories go round and round, and it turned out that back in 14, I picked up my first banana, and it came from Sterling all these years ago, and then he came around and surfaced back up here in like 23 or 22. It was funny.
I'll never forget. Ian said it was.
What's up, Brandon?
It was his first bananas he got in. And like I said, we talked about it. Got him for a great price. It was great for the time. It was like half what they were going for. I'm like, and he's so pretty, man. Yeah, because nobody's ever really seen anything like that at that time. There's only a couple floating around on the internet, and man, I was so pumped. That son of a bitch. This is the kicker about him. We always talk about like feeding snakes again. Or back to this shit. That son of a bitch blew up to freaking 800 grams in like 6 months. I fed him up, of course, dude. You want to talk about freaking feeding every week? I was like, 1, 2, 1, 2. Man, we're gonna make bananas. 1, 2. He never bred. He never bred a goddamn thing, dude.
Oh man.
I got rid of him and literally off of Rick RKZ. He got my first banana that came from Boa Barn. I bought my first.
You sure that thing wasn't a female?
No, the first pup I bought what I thought was a banana, and she had clown. Well, the guy, and I'm still kind of green at this point. Like I knew my genetics, but I really don't know like in banana combos what she did at this point. Like there wasn't like pictures out there was today.
Yeah.
And the banana clown believe it or banana clown. Banana head clown was actually prettier than the Enchi. So he's telling me, and when I first started talking, I'm like, oh, this is the Enchi. Well, some dude that was working the fucking show, so the Hamburg show, bought one off him too. Well, he screwed me, man. He took my banana. I paid for banana Enchi. He took my snake. I saw for a whole fucking year I had banana Enchi, and I didn't. I just had banana because he was way prettier. I went back, I took pictures of him and everything together, and I'm like, so I still thought it was Enchi because he was brighter, he was more colorful, like he was this. Well, guess what, man? I just had
Blade.
It was Blade. It was Blade. So he had that real nice freaking blushing to him and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he made my first, like I said, he made my first clutch, and then I bought a banana clown. The same year I bred him, and everybody's like, "Well, you made him. Why did you buy it?" Well, he was a year ahead now, right? And at that point, that kind of shit mattered because. Whatever, and he was gorgeous. I bought him off of RKZ. He got him in from somebody, and I'm like, thank God I got him because the banana clown stuff I still make to this day originated from them two males.
Nice.
And they were freaking phenomenal. Like they come up with the pinks and the oranges and whatever. So
Was that guy blind? Doug, the bow barn guy, wasn't he blind?
No, he wasn't blind. He was I think he did have some disability. He wasn't blind though.
Wait, his name was Doug though, wasn't it? Doug Metzak or Muzak or Mutzak or
Oh
something?
no, that's you're talking about that's not Boa Barn. That's
No.
He had Hissy Fit Reptiles is Doug Matuzak.
Is it?
I think so.
John, I'll bring you back. Remember my first orange dream? Remember it was just a nice Enchi?
Yep. Dude, I remember when you bought that fucking sick ass super blade clown off of I guess that was Don Carico too. When you bought that super sick, we thought he was leopard.
Yeah, I bought a super blade clown. I bought it as a leopard clown.
That's how, like I said, back in the day, man, you were freaking guns, freaking shooting blanks, man. We had no idea what the fuck we were looking at. And his thing looked like a leopard. It was dark, crazy, dark stripe down its back. He was crazy looking. He made cool babies, but he wasn't leopard.
He did make cool babies, but he wasn't leopard.
It's probably Choco Chris or something like that nowadays. Now we think
Raven,
right?
that shit.
All right, let's run another channel sponsor, and then I want to get into some clutch stuff.
Boo.
Head on over to Triforce Morse if you're looking for that
If this would work, which is not working.
Head on over to Triforce Morse if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of lace or citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morse. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you will not regret it.
You want to know something?
Look at this. Look, he's always in the chat, but he's too good to be with us.
Yeah.
He's busy. He's hands-on.
You want to know something funny? That sponsor ad you put up, I just really realized it. Every snake in that ad, I basically have. They all bred this year. That just shows how slacking you are on freaking getting these new freaking.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's a good ad. It's got killer animals.
Yep. If anybody watches my ad and you like the animals you see in my ad, they all bred this year, so
they're
available.
The one in that ad has not bred. I've tried to breed him,
Which
but
one?
he just doesn't want to do it with the ladies.
What male is that?
The one
You might like the boys.
banana citron male that I got from him.
Oh yeah, that was byproduct. I'm worried about that one.
Yeah, I was throwing him to a red stripe Enchi clown girl because that boy's a heck clown too. And dude, he just want like nothing.
No, man. I
got
keep my citron shit. They can't breed for nobody for 3 years because I got to stay ahead.
Well,
we take them to school. Jeremy's like, huh?
It's for Nathan. Nathan missed it.
I said, Nate, God help us, Nate. You should have saw what he was doing to that poor thing
Nate,
earlier.
For you.
He's got a pillow for you, Nate.
How big is he now, Jeremy?
What's that?
How big is he now?
I'll go get him. He's decent size.
I'll show you my puny girls that are his sister because they're still small. I kept them on the small scale. I'll blow them up next year.
He looks good too. I mean, he's lost a little bit of that bluish color. Now it's more purple.
Mm-hmm.
But
his sisters are small. Yeah, his sisters
oh wait,
are again.
We gotta see you. See your big mug.
It looks good.
Look at that pattern. That's cool.
It looks good.
What is that?
Citron.
Leopard banana, citron, that clown.
Oh, it's a head clown.
Yeah.
Nice. Damn, look at them hooks on that side. Ooh.
Say, I hope that's a banana or your Ultramel has mites.
Those are some awful big mites then at that point. Especially that one
Especially
right there.
especially that
like
one.
queen.
That's a tick.
That's a tick.
Haven't seen ticks on ball pythons before, have you?
There's one of the sisters. Her color crazy.
Oh wow!
But look at the color difference, though.
Yeah,
She's
that's why he held it back.
She's leopard enchi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Entry
It's like she's got there's I'm not seeing much purple on her at all. It's more like yellows and oranges.
And she has fire, I believe, in her too.
Okay.
Entry and fire. Yeah. Mm.
She's had clown.
Hey John, someone asked about what's the history of citron.
History of citron. Okay.
There you go. Sell it, baby. Sell it.
Long story short, I don't know the vast, deep history of citron. I know it came in from a breeder named Morgan Hill. And Boa Barn had a bunch of it. When Boa Barn went out a couple years ago, they were, I think, what's Boa Barn have been out of business about? 6-7 years now, probably. They were a really big breeder back when I was getting into balls heavy. And what citron gene does, it's like everybody thinks it's like a lightning gene, and it can be, but it's really not. It's a pattern changer, and it's a depth. It does this like even in clowns, it like changes pattern and stuff. Like a normal clown has a clownish pattern. Citron has a very deep pattern.
Up, Keith.
And then when it's mixed into certain stuff, it brings out a citron-y color, very deep oranges, almost mandarin-like. So it's a pattern flipper and a color changer is basically what citron is. And it really works. We're starting to see it really works really well deeper in these combos we go on, because I kept it very simplistic because I really wanted to make sure it was a thing when I started it. I was like, nobody's really heard of this thing. And we did make supers, and supers were different. And we did make them, like I said, put them in black pastel. You start seeing it. You start seeing it in enchi. You start seeing it with yellow belly. Banana, it changed. It made them really, really crisp.
Did you tell them about what it does in clown already? I know I couldn't.
Well, yeah, clown. If anybody's seen like black pastel enchi clowns are like solid pattern and all that kind of stuff, we put citron into them and start breaking the patterns off, putting holes in them, making the patterns kind of scattery looking.
Does it put the keyholes in the clown pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like a color fade.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that citron put that hook in on Jeremy's snake?
So everybody knows what a clown looks like. Like, this is citron clown. See the color? Don't mind her nose. She's a little girl has had dealing with her tooth issue for years, and her face is always now just fat. But see, like the color in it?
Yeah.
Just citron.
Almost looks like a het hypo influence.
Yeah, it's not really brown. It's almost like a gray. Or blushed out a little bit
red
more.
Stripey looking. Like that guy, like a red stripe makes. So it just kind of. That girl's grab it.
This is great. I'm getting all these tubs clean.
But if you're looking to like add something different into a genetic to something you don't have, it just adds another color complexity to something. I'll show you a picture.
Here, I'll put you up on the big screen, John. Yeah, show off some shit. Everybody loves seeing some eye candy.
Citron showcase.
So, this is a black pastel enchi citron.
Oh, that was it. That was it.
See how orangey it is? very, very weird, deep color of it. The head's even like the striping on the head usually very dark on a black pastel Enchi clown or Enchi pied. I mean, her head's very light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaks in the orange. It has like an orange rings around them.
Let's see. I'm seeing like some really nice oranges, but then like some burnt orange too in there with it.
Yeah, the deeper oranges.
Like I said, this is like black pastel Enchi, so it's like very dark.
Why does it flip it whenever I click on?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like,
It's
that is
crazy.
so-
On my phone, I see John. On my iPad, I see Jeremy.
Estrogen. Now I see John.
Now I see
Well, see,
John.
I
on
swear,
both.
like StreamYard did something, and it's all screwed up ever since. Whatever they did,
Give it an update.
flip screens automatically. When I go to run ads, you gotta like double click on crap now. It's weird shit. See, there again.
So that's black pastel Enchi Citron, head clown or whatever. But again, the colors are very orangey.
Yeah, it's definitely got a different tone to it.
Instead of them typical browns and everything, and start putting keyholes back in. Usually, when you make black pastel Enchis, they don't have the keyholes. Usually,
Okay.
all very solid colors all the way through the snake. It's like bandit. So here's a single gene Citron Enchi with a pot. I mean, like just the Enchi and a. So it's not black pastel. See the oranges like flaring out around the outsides of the pattern.
Yeah.
Very. There you go.
Emoji.
So, and she's dead, so she's really orange outside of camera, and this freaking front-facing camera sucks. But that's some of the smaller Citron stuff.
What genes do you think Citron kind of thrives in, John?
What is Citron like? You're asking, like, what would it be compared to, or?
Well, no. What genes do you think it thrives in?
Like,
What are some of the must-have combos to kind of go
Thrives
with?
an Enchi. It looks great with Orange Dream. Just takes Orange Dream and just sends it to a different level. But it's not super yet. Like, we're working on making the super Orange Dream Citron, but I think it's gonna be insane. It thrives in clown. Like every clown combo I've made with Citron so far is hard hitting looking. Like it really does some stuff. Listen, I just now just started working out of the wheelhouse with Citron. I kept it very whatever based in Enchi, Black Pastel, Yellow Belly, and Clown and Pied genes with them specific genes, so I can get the adults up to start bringing back stuff to them. I put it in the bang this year. It looks good.
Is it you want to show anything off or no?
I was gonna say it probably looks good in Yellow Belly.
Yeah, not of that because, like I said, it's in shed right now, and plus, I want to do more with that stuff before I start introducing with people to the Bang Citron event. I want to make sure it is Citron. I want to make sure the Bang genes working with it before I
Do you have a lot of Super Citron?
No, I don't, believe it or not. I sold them. I sold my Super Citron stuff as babies.
Okay.
That pillow behind Chris is creepy as fuck. It looks like a midget sneaking in his door to get him. Look behind his left elbow. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it's sneaking in the room. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I did that on purpose.
One of those the little kid punching bags.
At first, I was like, is Daisy sneaking in? And I'm like, wait, that's not moving. What is that? I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah, I think I only have one. I only have one Super Citron. He's not in this room, though. I'll show you a Citron Clown Pie.
Yeah. It's a nice and bright.
Look at that beautiful carpet up there. Look at that SOB. He's so freaking purty.
No, I thought it was Celeste.
What's that?
Remember how we were
thought it
talking
was
about?
Yeah, maybe we need to give her a warm bath tomorrow or something, Jeremy.
That might work.
Like I could have done stuff like this years ago, but I wanted to get genetics into it. So when I do bring it back, it meant something. So
Oh, wow.
So cool. What's that? So this is a black pastel Citron. Jesus Christ. Stay still. He's got a really neat head. And he has a little spot back. So he's not really crazy high visibility clown pied.
Oh wow.
We took it to Enchi. Now check out the pattern on this girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Color's different.
Oh
This
yeah.
little girl.
No, that's cool.
Oh wow.
It looks like a cheat, like it's some kind of leopard pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call that the cheetah ball.
Yeah, and then the front of her is really neat too. Look like she's really crazy head markings.
Oh wow. So is that Enchi clown pied?
This is Citron Enchi. This could be a super Citron.
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure that we got here before I really like push this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
if this is what we can start like expecting out of supers or even like clown pied stuff, like where is the future in this Citron stuff? I already know I could pick it out in regular jeans and anything else. I just want to make sure this stuff's reproducible.
Right. It's a super, yeah.
Yeah, and we
That's
did.
neat. I like that one.
It's really cool. Whatever. So I mean, one girl, I had one male. I just pulled him off Morph Market. Everybody dilly dally and dilly. I pulled him off this year. I'm keeping him.
Fuck around, found out.
Dude, I literally had over 50 messages on that snake, and nobody pulled the trigger. I'm like, I'm done.
How you doing, Mandy?
I yanked him, so I'm going to keep him. So now I can just take we were talking, the clown pied. Now I can inject it with the Citron and the Enchi, and then I can work that forward with something.
All right. Now, the one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and it's kind of fitting just with breeding season coming in, a lot of new breeders out there, is when do you guys start worrying about females that aren't laying? So, like, when is that point where you're like, okay, something's going wrong inside?
I don't.
When they start eating.
In that case, I got something to worry about with the carpets because they act like they're starving. And
Kind of a loaded question.
I don't worry anymore.
So we're talking days like past late 8, right?
Yeah, days past late 8. Like,
I have
because I know Nate. I wish Nate was on here for this one because he's had
Never.
an outrageously freaking long.
He may
I never heard of it.
there was not a time when it was never.
No, not before.
He was pretty concerned a couple times in his.
Oh, he's lying.
He matured into that.
He matured into
He's
that.
lying.
What was his one, like 52 days late or something?
It was outrageous.
He just answered this.
And then snakes hatched on day 45.
We literally just talked about that this week. I think he said it was 42 days late or some shit.
I think it was like 42 days. And Kent, no, I'm not asking for myself because I know they're going to go at some point anyway. It's just more like it's just my bitching point here.
A friend of mine was wondering.
I've seen
47 days late. Jesus.
Wow.
So, okay. I remember. Yeah, I knew we were just talking about this week. Because I have one, it was around the same time as Nate's 47 day. I think I had one of like 38 days.
That's fucking 2.5 weeks later than average. That's nuts.
Wow.
I have had ones that got egg bound. Waiting. You know what I'm saying? I have lost snakes that got egg bound. So like I said, it is an important question, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me to go that you're getting snakes egg bound at a certain day because it's about how they're moving and what they are or aren't doing. When I had this egg bound stuff happen to me, it was pretty early into this. I had a red stripe, man, all the way back in probably like 2012 or 13, which is some of the first red stripe that would have hit the market at that point. Just back when they weren't shit, nobody even cared about them. He loaded 11 eggs and went belly up on me, man. Freaking total egg bound. I've only seen that a handful in my entire career doing this.
Was that the clown?
No, man. I had the clown. That was the last ones ever did to me to that point, to that extent. I had a clown, same thing, 10 eggs in her, palpated 10 eggs. This is before even an ultrasound machine. Huge. Never passed one. And it killed her. Now, she was only 36 days past that I thought was 36 days past, but something happened.
Yeah.
Like, she went septic inside of her or something. Like,
overdose twisted or something.
I didn't have a lockdown date on her. Like, I didn't know any better back then. I'm like, oh.
What's up, Shane?
I didn't even know about.
Shane.
I didn't even know about keeping track of their sheds and all that shit back when that happened. Like it was the very beginning, first year, maybe third clutch ever I would have. But yeah, man. 30s. I've heard a lot of 30s. I have now since we started talking about this shit. I heard a lot of 30 over. When you start getting to 37, 40, I guess that's over. I mean,
that's when
feeling it, definitely.
that's when it's gonna. Because here's the thing. One, I've got the 4 that are or 3 that are overdue by basically 10 days roughly. So it's not like I'm not running screaming the sky's falling or anything like that. I've had them take a couple weeks, afterwards.
Here's another thing that nobody takes into consideration. I think does happen to a lot of us, and it might even happen to me, and it might have happened to even Nate and other people. There is a pre-swell these snakes do that you think's an ovulation. I don't know how many people catch it, how many people notice this, but I have marked down ovulation more than once. Like I thought I saw an ovulation. The millimeters are matching the freaking ultrasound. Blah blah blah. We got an ovulation. Next thing you know, they go all the way down.
Oh, man.
3 weeks later, boom, they'll do it again, or even 3 weeks later, and you're like, oh shit, was that the ovulation? Because now it's like twice the size the first one I thought. Now people mark and say they don't see the second one, they don't see whatever. You mark down that shed, blah blah blah, pre-laid, pre-ovi, all that kind of sheds. You can easily miss, and that's why you went 30 days over because you really didn't see the full ovulation.
See, I start my countdown after the shed, though. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing, though.
I tried the ovi, but
It might be another shed, he said.
It might be a pre-ovi shed. I have seen girls ovulation in shed.
And sometimes they'll skip a shed too. Like just because you that shed doesn't mean. I mean, yes, 9 out of 10 times they're gonna have that pre-ovi shed or pre-lay shed, but that doesn't mean they have to. There will snakes that skip that. There's baby snakes that skip their first shed. Dude, Mother Nature will do some twisted shit, man. It just happened.
I shit you not. About 3 years ago, we had a snake lay eggs in a shed. And I'm not talking about she was in shed. The eggs were in shed. She shed with the eggs when she laid them.
Laying them.
Wrapped around eggs.
Really?
Shed off around them.
Dude, that's freaking crazy.
That's wild. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Phones,
you got to post that on IG, man.
Nope, I had to cut the shed out because she shed with the clutch.
That's wild.
That's freaking nuts.
I've only seen a snake shed snake in shed 3 times doing this laying. We just had a Christine just said it. What the fuck was it? She was just in shed. It was something that she should never been in shed. So she just shed the week before and she was shed again. She was in deep blue again after she just shed, and it was a pre-lay shed. So she's going to double shed in like 7 days.
Yeah, she double cycled it on.
It baffles me. It's like what? Why? Why now shed back to back like that?
I think it comes down like the more you do is always going to be the more you see. I know people just talk that and they say it's so cliche, but son of a bitch, man, the more you do, the more you see.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. The more numbers, the more differences you see.
I just keep seeing more crazy shit. And then even Florentino sent me something like, holy fuck, they don't even know. Never even seen that before. And it's like every time you think you've got these things figured out to do something else crazy.
Yep.
Yes, to answer Keith's question, I do. I have one female Angolan that I'm raising up, Keith.
But yeah, I say I wouldn't panic till it hits about 40 to 50 days on a freaking
Yeah, and Nate's is pretty much like not your baseline, but there goes to show you, you could go up to 45 days. You go to 2 weeks after when they should lay, and they could still go. I mean, you got to play a lot of that stuff. I feel that when you don't have your room at an ambient temperature, it seems like you're more apt to your girls are to go later, as if your room stays in ambient 80. I rarely have girls go over day 35.
Yeah, same.
To ease anybody's mind, up to 25 days is very, very, very common.
Yes.
So it's like after the 25 mark is when you start like really checking on her a little bit more, see what's kind of going on. But if it hasn't laid, just say it's like 14 days, don't sweat it at all. That's as common gets.
Yeah.
25 days even, you're like, all right, boom, you're probably going to get eggs there within the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
When it starts hitting like 37, 40, yeah, it's kind of starts getting a little shit, man. Because
that's when you start getting a little antsy.
Right, because they're almost into another shed cycle at that point, and I have seen them shed before laying me eggs too. So literally have my pre-lay. I know they're going to lay. And it's not like, oh, you missed the pre-lay shed, because then it'll lay like 5 days after the shed. So it's not even like that doesn't even add up, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I missed the shed. Oh, she's going to shed again, and then I'll wait 30 days after that or some shit.
Yeah,
But like 4, 5, 6 days after they shed, it's like, oh, okay. Now, we just got into some weird territory here. Out of my whole career doing this, I've had about 12 to 13 egg-bound snakes. I have lost, I know for a fact, because like I said, the ones you lose, you're always going to remember. I've lost 5. So that's with breeding, probably 600 clutches by now, 500. I don't even know. So it's not super common thing, but it can happen.
And that's it. And then the other thing is too, like you said, the more you do it, the more clutches you do, the more you're going to have it happen. It's just like babies that are deformed. The more clutches you hatch, the more babies you make, the more likely at some point you're going to hit the odds that it happens.
The one thing I can sit here and say that's never happened to me is a snake that got egg bound, shot off six egg, right? 2 left in her. That's common. That happens a lot. Because what happens is the egg gets trapped inside of it, gets wrapped inside the wall, like literally sticks to it like Velcro. They're very hard to get out. I've drained eggs to get them out. I've palpated out and got lucky and found where the duct was able to go in and get it out while it was all stuck to the inside of their tubes. They'll freaking prolapse themselves, all kinds of crazy shit. But they don't ever survive. If a snake usually doesn't lay with their clutch, something
within that day, they're crushed.
So I've heard people trying to cut their snakes open to get them out. Like, my God, like, oh, if she died, I'm going to cut it. They're pretty much not going to make it. Like, just
very rarely will they make it.
Yeah, there's no going in. They're probably not going to make it with that kind of stuff.
You have a better chance with live bears going in and getting them.
Yeah. It's something like I said. I call it the touch of life. As soon as they leave the cloaca, it's the touch of life. Like, if you got to go in and get it, I've never had success going in and get it. Even in the same day, it's never whatever. The other thing I haven't had any success with is a snake dropping an egg at 3 or 4 days early. I don't know if you guys have experienced that.
Nope.
They'll kick it out. They call it. They're making room.
Yep.
It'll be a perfectly healthy looking egg when they shoot it out, and it's usually they'll kick it out 3, 4, or 5 days sometimes before they even lay their clutch.
Sometimes it's a slug.
Usually, like I said, in my case, it's a good egg. It's usually my big girls who do this crazy shit. So we had a Hingy woman just do it, a perfect whatever pearly egg, and I'm like, where the fuck the rest of them, little shit? Well, that egg didn't make it. She laid 12 after it. That all made it.
Jeez,
that's so weird.
They'll kick it out. I was like, I told her that they're making room because, like I said, been doing this so long. Like, you see this shit, it's just you start making up whatever's going. First time you ever see it, you're like, what the fuck? Like, why did she give me one egg? Is my snake egg bound? Like, you start freaking the hell out, right?
Yep.
But always the best thing to do is, like you said, if you think you got an egg bound snake, we'll shoot them in Pedialyte sometimes after they lay, and like say that we'll give them like that night. Sometimes they'll shoot them out 2 days later. But say they don't shoot them out for like 4 or 5 days. More on the 4 days to 5, like 3, 4. I'll soak them. I'll put them in a Pedialyte bath, literally fill it up halfway. Just let them sit in there for like a half hour or whatever. And I'll do that for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of snakes get dumb. They stop drinking and shit when they're sitting on these eggs and shit. And they're not getting in there, not giving themselves any hydration. So that's why some of these eggs are sticking inside of them.
That's a big thing with chondros is the dehydration. So it plays a part to every reptile species, man. Yeah. Hydration is key. Hydration for especially pregnant moms and not a position, like the depositing of the eggs. That's just all very linked to that.
This is actually a really good subject right here. If anybody ever had, like, watching, if you open a bin and you smell like a dead rat, all high hell. It just, it's in there's a little clear kind of with yellow piss in the corner, and it's little funky, milky looking or whatever. And you're like, it's not a dead rat. 9 times out of 10, that's a dehydration. Your snake's not drinking. The snake's not getting the dehydration. Pull that snake out, give it a Pedialyte bath.
Good soak.
Take a syringe, a little bit of water down his throat. Don't freaking jam it down his throat, shoot, but get a little bit of water into it. Spray them. try to get some hydration in that snake because that's usually a sign of a kidney shutdown.
So I lost one because of that.
They will go quick
That's
as hell. As soon as you see that smell, it can go from days to even weeks, but like it's within days sometimes because that's usually the key of they're dehydrated, they're fucked up because
Put your penis pump away, Sardina.
Not a penis pump. That's what I use to hydrate them.
Oh, sorry.
I have had that call from so many newer
Well,
people, even and breeders, of what is this smell, John? Have you ever smelled it? Like it's like death in my bin and everything out. It always sometimes that time leads back to dehydration.
Yeah.
You literally will not forget that smell. Like it I have smelled some of the worst crap you have ever smelled. And that trumps it all.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like John said, it smells like death food.
It smells like death, right? It just and it has a real funky texture to it. It's really mucusy sometimes.
Yeah, it's very mucusy. Yeah.
It tends to happen a lot more to a snake that's all food.
Mhm.
It's not really because the snakes, believe it or not, get a lot of their water and everything from their feeding, like all the shit they need from eating a rat or
Yeah.
So when they're not doing that and they're not even drinking their water, yeah, they'll go down quick. If like
the other thing is too, and this is like from my experience anyway with it, it was a breeding male, and you know, it was one of those things. You know, he's gone off food before. I wasn't worried about the being off food part because he's done it before. He was, you know, I had him nailed down because he's several years old.
Males are very typical for it because males are stupid, man. All they do is try to look for some booty.
Males are dumb.
They'll forget how to eat. They'll forget how to drink. They'll forget how to stop moving. They'll just keep going around in circles.
You know what they don't forget how to do though?
Make babies.
I got this one male here.
Jeremy forgot how to make more babies.
Thank God. Thank you, Lord.
I've had to check this snake's hemipene so make sure he has them because all this one snake I got is when he goes into breed mode, he stops eating. He's stupid. He'll stop drinking. He screws their head, dude. He doesn't even ever lock them. Like he breathes every part of them, but where he's supposed to.
He gets a job done fully.
No, he never gets the job done. He's just here.
He's just here.
I don't even know if he has hemipenes. They might have bit him off by the time he tries to force feed. So, but now the males get stupid. That's usually what you'll see them. You'll see it in breeder males. You'll see it in. It's another thing to check. Contemplated snakes, basically, or whatever. Compacted. They got like some compaction in them.
Females are just laid too.
Females are just laid big time.
Well, that's another thing. After they lay, I let them sit in a soak for like probably about 30 minutes. That's a big part of my routine. They sit in that bath for 30 minutes. Granted, it's to help get that scent off of them.
Without
to help get them that hydration.
That's another thing we could talk about too. Is like when a female does lay, I will highly suggest wash them off, Dawn soap, whatever. Put them in a bin like Jeremy does. Take them to the tub and rub them down. Do whatever you got to do. Move their bin. Just literally wipe their bin out. It's like it's a brand new spot. You take your Lysol wipes, however you guys clean, chloroxidine, clean that freaking spot out, make it spotless. Take that snake, move it to a snake where in your room maybe it's another girl that isn't going to lay that year. Just move her down to that new spot. Put your girl laid up into that spot. Just get her away from where she laid because that smell, no matter what you really do, is in that area.
Scent.
The scent. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. You'll have snakes sometimes go right back on food, man. There's some girls that freaking you might not even watch
next day.
Yeah, she just laid and you're just going through your bins, going to feed, and that girl's like, "What the heck?" Hits it instantly. You're like, "Okay, got to worry about you."
That's beautiful with the colubrids, man. I just pulled my second clutch today, and it's like I pull the eggs. I don't gotta bother the female. I don't gotta wash her off. I go do nothing. I'll go in there tomorrow morning and she'll destroy 2 small weans, like no hesitation. You know what I mean? No cleaning, nothing.
Yeah,
that's how the carpets are on that one too.
Just moving locations and racks ever mess them up? Like put them off. Sure. When you move stuff up, sometimes you risk them jumping off food. When you move shit around, definitely can risk them. But guess what? You can also do the exact opposite. I'm saying missing. You can move snakes, and they will instantly go back on food because you moved them.
Oh yeah.
I did that with I had 2 Exantic girls, my Pastel OD Exantic Het Clown and my Pastel Exantic Het Clown. Both those girls have been off food for a while. I moved them from the 50-20 rack to the 10-65 rack. They were still off food. Moved them, but I tried when I moved them to a spot where they were going to be similar temperature as where they were at with the 50-20. Now they're in the 1065. I moved them from the middle of the 1065 to the outer edge. Poof. Start going on to food. What's different about that edge? It's a little bit cooler. That temperature change kicked them back into food mode.
Bro, I have certain snakes that will not eat in certain areas of this room. No matter, they could be my best eating snakes. I move them to a rack, just say they're over here in the left corner, and I say, I want to go over here behind me. They will not eat here. No matter what I do, I want them in the 70s or 55 series or 70 series, they will not do it on this side of the room, but they'll eat in the 70 across the room. Now, this is my window wall where they have temperatures different, I guess, outside and shit.
The outside wall's a little cooler.
They just, certain snakes will just, they fall into a pattern where they want to be, and that's that. So if you do have snakes like that, just know, like, don't. I'm not saying move them every week. Don't try to like feed them. Oh, it didn't eat here. Move it next week.
Yeah.
No.
Give it a
Give it
time.
time.
Settle in. You gotta let it settle in.
Give it a month even sometimes. We're like, okay. And if it doesn't do it, now try over here. Doesn't eat that week. Maybe they want low. You can try it another 2 weeks. Could take a good like month or two, sometimes 3 months to get some of these girls back on. Like, just be prepared for that. They will settle in if the temperatures are right, your freaking everything's right. They will settle back in, and then you just got girls that are just like F off, dude. You fed me so much in the first 3 years of my life. I am taking the next 6 months off.
Yep. Sometimes they hit that wall, and that wall's a bitch to get over. Sometimes for some of them,
a lot of people, I really didn't know. A lot of people don't know what the wall means. Wall means is whenever you hear a breeder or anybody talk about the absolute wall, snake hit the wall. It's usually about a girl that's 2 years old, roughly 1.5 to 2.5 years old. About 1,000 grams. The reason that they say it's the wall 1,000 grams is it's the first year they start to actually in their body start to grow follicles. They think they're ready to be a mom, even though they really
Get their period.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. They are hitting maturity, and they could be bred. In the wild, they would look around. They might breed a snake at 1,000 grams, right?
Yep.
We as humans go, no. We're not breeding you to 1,500. We're not beating you to 2,000. We made that rule for them. Yeah. Now, I'm not telling anybody to breed 1,000 gram snake at all. That's why they're not eating. They think their maturity level is that of a snake that is 1,500 grams. So they're going to go through the same period, but they're not being bred. So they're going to stay on that wall a lot longer than a girl that's being bred. Because as soon as you breed a snake that is breeder cycle, she'll breed. She'll do that same damn wall. If you don't breed her, she'll still have food. So that's why I say sometimes throw a male in, dude. You want the girl, get the girl back on, throw a male on. If you don't want to let them lock, don't let them lock, whatever. But that usually snaps the girl to go back on, because as soon as they breed, they feel they want to be a mom. That's when they start freaking. I do the feeding frenzy.
Two choices.
So hit it. The next thing you know, if you notice the girl that's going to start becoming gravid, that's knowing your snakes, is they're nuts. You're opening the bin now. You're starting to use a fucking hook, because she's coming out sideways, hitting the side of your head. She don't even care where the rat's at that point. They're in a frenzy. They don't care where it's coming from. They will eat as many as you give them, because they're building like a human.
Made that choice to go.
Will start feeding for 2. They will start feeding for 8, 10, whatever.
Or they won't make that choice and they're done. They won't change from eating. Yeah, they won't change from that lock. Yeah.
Yep. So that's why I tell people, like, that's when, if you want to do a weekly feeding with a girl like that, sure. If you want to do a double feeding, you're not going to hurt that snake. I mean, don't feed them 2 huge ass rats who are going to regurgitate one or something. But like, feed them 2. Definitely during a breeding cycle, because guess what, man? They're going to take everything they got into them damn eggs, and you don't wish to God you fed them 10, because they're going to look like freaking goddamn beef jerky.
Inflated balloon.
Shoot them eggs out. That snake's going to be so damn skinny.
Beef jerky.
I call them little girls beef jerky when they come out. I'm like, oh my God, what did you do to yourself? Why did you make that extra
1,400 grams and laid 6 eggs, and Dashi weighs 800 grams.
I got a couple bad eaters, but do get some extra time.
Yeah.
Now, see, they might not be bad eaters. They might not like their spot. They might not like something you're doing. Like, I never want to raise a bad eater until they literally are a bad eater, right? Like, they're 4 or 5 years old and they just never, ever really got eaten. They're just not doing their thing.
It might not be the prey item that they've been fed before. I've got a hypo boy here. Unless you feed him ASF, he's not taking whatever you freaking throw at him.
My bang clown's the
Is
same
that
way.
from Danny?
No. That one came from Nate. It could have came from Danny though. Who knows?
Yeah, probably.
Hypo I got from Nate. Like you put an ASF in there, man. Poof, it's gone in a heartbeat.
That's all Nate feeds is ASFs anyway.
Yeah.
I got a bang pied and a bang clown, and they're literally next to each other in the rack. My bang pied will eat anything. It will eat anything, anytime, anywhere. My bang clown is the same size as my bang pied, but he will only eat ASF, but he'll eat 2-3 ASFs at a shot if I let him.
Yep.
But you put a rat near him, he's like, get that stinky, nasty thing away from me.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's kind of like, what the hell? Like, don't you want to eat? Aren't you hungry? Like, I've been waiting this sucker out, trying to get him, just playing the game. Like, come on, like
we've
gonna take
a couple.
He's just like, nope.
He wants that filet mignon. He don't want that fucking rat, fucking New York strip steak.
We will hold over the bins with their tongues, one in one corner, one in the other. ASS versus rats, which some of these hard pissed off weirdos, right? And they will go for one they want. Like it's like, and that's what they know. Like the ASF. I have snakes that ate nothing but rats. They won't touch an ASF.
Yeah,
they like get that little weird thing out of my bin. Like I try to get them going because they're great eaters. But yeah, right, Nate too.
Yeah, some of the look ASFs and they snub them too. Yeah.
Well, like that's people say on how like, oh yeah, no, snakes won't get, they won't get snobby with food. They will.
Some might.
Some will do it. I mean, if you get like, even as good of eaters as what carpets are, I tried to feed Xander an ASF one time. He bit it, boiled it, dropped it instantly. He said that he didn't want that shit.
I'll talk about another myth right now, man. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, it came from an ASF breeder. Won't eat rats." That is the biggest myth bullshit. A good eating snake will eat whatever the freak you got because, like, literally, they don't care. They'll eat. Don't get me wrong. You can have an ASF eater that won't ever take a rat. You can have a rat eater that won't ever take an ASF. But Nate does ASS. He breeds both.
See, Nate's got
back and forth. Like they have no problem with it. They'll flip back and forth, and he's one that made me a firm believer. Like it's horse shit. Like he'll literally like ASF this week, rat the next week, and then back to ASF, and they're just like eat like, and then there's no problem. You know what else is another pro to ASF is that we're finding out?
Color.
He doesn't have the rat shit or the snake shit like I have. They'll freaking absorb every freaking piece of that damn thing. Their snakes are shitting dust balls, little fur balls.
It's a little furry confetti.
And his snakes do. His older snakes are very on par. Like we talk about this all the time. We work together. The same size. They're getting there the same rate. Like my snakes might take longer sometimes to get there because I do a 2-week feeding. But at the freaking year 2, they're almost the same grammage.
Yeah.
Same like body language. 30 years old females versus males and all kinds of shit. So there's no real wrong way to feed. It's just basically just make sure you're feeding your animals and doing the best you can to try to get them to go when they are having these weird little issues sometimes. But the other thing, don't stretch yourself out too bad about snakes not eating. Just keep trying to do little move them, try little tricks.
Jamie asked another thing he wanted to add about
hit or miss. Sometimes it works.
Spheric Reptiles, I guess, did a video about dewormer will get them to eat.
Yeah, flagell.
You can use a flagell or a simple.
It's not as easy to get these days. The flagell and all that stuff.
What cephalexin or something is one.
Gosh, I can't even pronounce it.
Yeah.
Da Vinci Boa.
Da Vinci Boa is basically Da Vinci Boa is basically watered down flagell. The ingredients are flagell.
Yeah, metronidazole.
All out of the 12 years that I've been breeding, I've rarely ever treated any type of. I very rarely used any type of. I've never used Da Vinci. I've never used flagell. I have used antibiotics, and mostly a nebulizer with F2. That's pretty much all I've ever used in my 12 years. I've never used a supplement. I've either weighed the snake out or I've tried it different prey items, or I've moved it around. But a snake's going to eat when it wants to eat. Bump its temperature up.
I'm 100% on your on your ship with this.
You've got to experiment with these things. There's a lot of things you can do before you need to administer something, because out in the wild they're not getting this fucking shit. So why should we at some points have to do this in captivity?
I feel, like I said, everything you just said is 100%. Because I did try all this shit in the beginning. We were all fresh one time, very new. And I did like, oh my God, my snake's not eating a couple of months. I did do Flagyl. I tried Da Vinci Bella. I mean, I bought a bottle, just like Chris got on. And I'd done all this shit. And I was like, oh, cool, they ate 1 out of 4. So did it work or not, right? Like, one of them did eat. Like, so basically, you're like, okay, well, that worked. I tried it again. I did this. As time went on, as soon as I figured out, like, the room, I knew my room. I knew what it's going to do in wintertime now. I know it's kind of like my incubator. As soon as you know your racks and you know kind of like where the flow of like certain snakes go, and that's when you start really dialing in and not needing all the freaking remedies, right? Like and then you'll just get used to snakes. Like I said, once you have so many, some don't eat. Some just like that. Some when they're going to eat. So feed that snake hardcore when you know they're going to eat. They'll have that.
Exactly.
I have some girls, man, they'll literally take 5-6 rats a whole year. Breeding season, I'll hammer them. They will literally jump from 5-6 year maintenance feed themselves all year. They're my biggest girls at the end of the year, because as soon as like, let's say January, February, March come, these girls are flying out the bin because they're my hardest hitting breeders, and they're getting all their food, man, 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they're like that. And then as soon as they lay again, they'll take their rat to put a little bit of weight back on. They'll grab another one here. The next thing you know, they go off 3-4 months. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Right?
What are you doing?
You're even going to be ready for this next breeding season, and it's became like a game at this point. They're like, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yep.
Like, stop fucking with me. You know what I'm going to do when it comes to breeding season. I want to eat you freaking out of house and home.
Yeah.
But it's scary, man, when you don't know.
Right. I definitely feel like there's a time and a place, though, for the flagyls and for imports and for things like that. All that stuff's important and whatnot. I definitely feel like there's a place for it. But
Yeah.
that a Luna moth?
I was gonna say, did the mothership come? Because I even saw that, Chris.
Holy crap! Did you see that thing? I think that was a Luna moth.
Yeah, that was big.
Dude, it's still. I want to get my kid's net and see if I can catch that thing. At first, I thought it was like one of those Helgamites, those big things with the nasty jaws. But no, this thing was like the size of a softball.
That was cool.
I hope that thing comes back. I'm gonna catch it. But no, like there's definitely a time and a place for those supplements and for gut bacteria, like we were talking about before with those loose stools and them stinky stools. I definitely think that an animal could definitely benefit from the added electrolytes or the whatever is in the flagyls or the Da Vinci's at that point in time, because their gut bacterias are off. But it's so far and few in between.
Another way to avoid a lot of this weird shit is like the breeder you get a snake from. Say I don't know how many new people are in here or like whatever, but just say like if you're newer, talk to the breeder about it. Like how the parents eat, the siblings, how long have you been breeding this? Like how many generations deep, all kinds of stuff. Because that'll answer a lot of your questions. Like I was trying to tell people like, this line might be a little more finicky. This one over here, they're freaking since the day I've had her. Like the babies eat like crazy. They're just nuts. Like my hidden gene woman girl. Everything that girl produced while she's still here up on top of it, everything she produced is a monster. The babies go off the hook eating. And I think also, like I said, to get back to another point, I think as breeders and just people, we over-analysis everything. To the point you drive yourself crazy, but sometimes you make it worse.
Yeah.
Because literally days goes into weeks, goes into months, man, and you're literally driving yourself batshit crazy with something that might have been just a simple tweak of turning the air down a degree in your room, putting a freaking I put a cardboard on my vent into the snake room. We have central air. I let the rest of the house go, and I leave my door open in here all the time, so that central air does come in here and keeps this room like during winter or during summertime about 77 to 80. It's still warm upstairs. But if I leave that vent open, I have a rack close to there. All them girls in that rack will go straight off through instantly. Like 3/4 of that side of the wall because the wall gets colder and that air is coming in, and air out of an air conditioner. Yeah, it's 72 degrees or whatever, but that's just coming out ice cold compared to an 80-some degree room.
Yeah.
It's usually about a 15-degree split on a normal air conditioning unit. It's 15. High velocities over 20-degree split. Yep.
So that's coming in right next to them girls. Them girls are like, of course, like, holy fuck, I'm freezing. Like, what are you doing, dude? So I just noticed that. It's funny we're talking about. I just noticed that like 3 days ago because we just kicked the air really on because it just started getting hot here in PA.
It's not hot yet. Stop it.
No, it was hot last week for like the area, right?
No way.
The air's been on. I've been hot. I've been fat, man. I'm fucking up your sweat.
Stop
Hey, turn that
it.
air conditioner on. Well, the air was blowing. And my legs were underneath the table. I'm like, whoo, that's chilly. Next thing I know, all them girls took off food last week. I'm like, okay. So man, I forgot to fucking cover the vent. The weather's been weird. It would rain and it's been cool. I forgot about covering that vent. I usually cover it the first week in May. Well, now we're 2 weeks, whatever. 3 weeks. But anyway, it's stupid shit like that. Like as a human, you go, okay. I always look at it this way. This is how this is as easy as it gets. If you can walk into your snake room, shorts, no shirt, no shoes, and they're comfortable as hell, they're loving life.
Yeah.
If you're cold, they're cold.
Yep.
If you're hot, they're hot.
Well, see, while you were talking, I looked over here at my little thermometer that I've got going on in here. Now, during the wintertime, it was down about 73-ish, when it was really cold outside, the temp of the room here dropped.
Yep.
Right now, the temp's sitting at 79.
79. That's anywhere between, like I said, I try to tell people if you have a dedicated snake room, try to keep that thing above 74 and try to keep it under 83. Right? If you have heat tape. If you don't have heat tape, then you can do the ambient. The ambient's about 85 to 87, blah, blah, blah. That's a hot ass room though, man. Fuck that. Like I'm dying at 87.
That's Florida.
Yeah. But if you have your
You come out at 50.
and another thing, everybody got this like in their brain, right? We need 90. We need 90-degree hot spots. Guess what, guys? You don't need 90-degree hot spots.
Honestly, I think the mid 80s is like the sweet spot.
86, 87, 80. As soon as my shit starts hitting 89, I'm going, it's getting a little too warm because my room's warm.
Yep.
This room's always between 77 and 82, depending on time. And believe it or not, this room's warmer in the summer or in the wintertime because we got the heat going and all the.
Right.
So basically, like I said, try to keep your ambience around like between 86 and 90. Like I said, I always use 90. 90 is the hot time. 90 to me is the top of it. If you got to turn your racks up to over 90, it means your room's too fucking cold. Because literally you're trying to compensate it with a 3-inch piece of heat tape. It's not working. If you got a 65-degree room, I don't care how high you got your heat tape. It's only still heating fucking that. It's still 95, 97 in the back there. So you're not really still doing a gradient shit. You're doing 97, 96, and 65.
Yeah, my room's at like 78, 80.
Yep, see, ambient, 83 to 84, perfect. If it's ambient all the time, it's perfect.
Yeah.
The 87, 88 is good for digesting food and doing this shit when they have a nice little gradient to run back and forth to. When they don't have anywhere to run back and forth to, you don't really want to push it over that like 85 degree because now like there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And every species is different.
Yep.
There's ball pythons.
Yeah. I'm talking just balls. I'm a ball breeder, guys. Like.
Yeah. Every species is definitely, they have their own little,
Niche.
sweet spot for the temps. Like with the carpets, man, like I learned just hands-on, they don't like it hot.
Nah.
Like you want like maybe at max like an 85, 86 degree hot spot. I have mine set at like 85, I think. Where they're at on their highest perches, that's what it hits, and that's it.
All my species that I own are in around what ball pythons do, and I have to keep it that way. There's so many species I love, but I am not set up for them. Like there's certain just things I just can't own. Like my green tree, he's out in the hallway, out in the air, because he can't be in here, dude. He goes down the bottom, tries to bury himself. Like I had him on the shoulder. He's like, "Fuck you, dude. It's hot.
I'm too hot."
Yep. He's down underneath, man, like half in his water bowl, half underneath the dirt. Like, get me the fuck out of here. Put him out the hallway, climbs back up to his branches. Like, okay, I'm now ready to eat. It's literally a 5-degree swing, man. But 5 degrees is enough for him to be like,
Yep. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, they don't like it as warm as what a lot of people used to think, though, either. A lot of people used to think, back in the day, when I first had mine, they thought they had to have it up around that 90-degree mark again. Like, that was like that. I don't know why it was 90 for everything. Like, everything was 90. Everything had to be 90 degrees, no matter what the hell it was.
It was a safe
looking back.
People. Back in the day, like, everything's layman's term. When people, like, read a sheet, it's just, okay, I'm a robot. I have to follow this thing. 90, fuck. Oh, could people, my thermostat, oh, fuck, it went over 89. No. Like, that's the way a human brain goes, because you're reading a sheet. It says 90, it has to be 90. I've had people go, well, I'm at 87.8, and the rest of my rack's at 90. Do you think I need to split the thermostat or the heat tape? No. They're good, man. Yep. Like, your ones in the bottom are always going to be cooler than the ones up top. You're fine. Like, if you got some ones that are eating up top, drop them down low. Maybe they might like a little hotter. Listen, we all don't, even humans, you don't roll at the same temperature, man. Like, Jeremy, you might like 76, and I might tell you 76 is too fucking hot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I tell everybody hot spots between 86 and 89. I'll say you can push it up to 90, but I'll say 86 to 89 is your safe zone for hot spots.
Yeah.
Depending on your room, and then I will have that. What's your room at? That's my first question. What are you putting them in, and what's your temperature of your room with the air on and heat on? And most people will tell you 70, 72, 75. Or they're putting in the tank. Or, okay, as soon as they say under like 65, 70, I'm like, well, you're going to need a heat lamp if you're putting in the tank. You're going to need a heat emitter. You're going to need something else plus the under tank, and walk them through that, because they need extra help. Yeah. Like, a 65-degree room is not going to give them the ambient they need. You got to give them a little something. If you're putting a rack in a 65-degree room, I highly recommend it. Don't recommend it, because no matter how much you turn that heat tape in the back, it's not going to way one way or another. It's too hot in the back, and now it's too cold in the front. Like, they can kind of get in the middle, but it's too hot when they want to go back in their heat spot, because then people are usually turning the heat up to like 95 and 7. It's cold. That's freaking hot. I mean, front 65.
Yeah.
Not really a good mix, right? You're better.
No, that's a lot of work on that heat tape.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, I know, because I did this at first. My one room, when I first house I started this in, we had terrible heating. My first room was 67 degrees. Like, that's as hot as I can get that fucking thing.
Especially with an open rack.
Yes, and I did. I had a vision. So I'm like, and I put sides on it, and I was like, I did this and I did that. And next thing you know, what I did was I went to a heater that sat in a room, a little space heater, and I made sure it was like one that could be adjusted, and then I did a thermostat that regulated that, and that's when I started using my first space heater, because I was going to do racks, and it's another recommendation. If you're going to do a room it's too cold, get a space heater during the winter months.
Yes, you know what, I used to have to do that. When it was just like a one or two like little racks in here, and they weren't full racks, that's what I had to do. I had to put a heater in here.
That thing saves my life in the wintertime, that little thing. And it doesn't have to run hard in here, because it's warm upstairs. But it does get them cold days when it's like fucking 6 degrees outside, and this heater's running hardcore. The whole house is freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to get this room, the 77, right? That little son of a bitch kicks on. Boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't cost me that much, because it doesn't run that hard.
Yeah.
It runs enough to keep these guys comfortable as hell.
I got one of them wall mount heat storms.
Yeah, yours works great too, Chris.
That thing's cool.
When I did the expansion, I was worried about the temperature dropping, because, the room doubled. The amount of, racking and stuff did not change. So I was afraid how that drop would affect everything.
You're pretty sealed down there, so the space heater will probably do good, right?
I say, well, the space heater does great, but see, I haven't run that for like 2 years now.
Oh, so you're in your house
with the racks going and the carpets going, it just keeps everything right where it needs to be.
You got fans pushing it around?
And I got a fan.
I've got a fan over there.
Okay, good.
That oscillates, and I got a fan on the other side. No, I was contemplating about putting a fan like basically right here in front of me. Just that way it's kind of got circulation going all over the place. But I don't know. I'm not quite sold that I need to do it yet. Maybe once my grand plan of how I'm stacking everything in here with, you know, the chondros and the carpets and stuff. Maybe that will be what I need to do is put, because it'll basically end up making this kind of like a cubicle to an extent, because eventually, instead of being able to see over to that side, it's going to have chondros coming up on that side, and
Yeah,
or
we
carpets.
also
So I'll
fan
be
placement.
isolating myself.
Fan placement's huge.
Fan placement's very important. I had a fan blowing at the racks here, and my water bowls would be dry.
Yeah,
Dry my water bowls. Oh yeah, that was bad.
So
I had
here's
it
the
mounted on
ultimate
the
fan
wall
placement.
up here.
Your ultimate fan placement in a room. Just say it's a whole room. Say it's an area like mine. You have racks on all walls. Put one on top of a rack, pointing away from whatever, so it's shooting air one way. Have another one on the floor away from in a far way, and so it's blowing towards the racks this way, but it's far. And I have one. It's a double. It's just a little fan like that. That I point that one up, and one up, and then I'll circulate it and all kinds of shit. It just spins it. Air movement in a snake room. A lot of people don't realize how actually important it is.
Very important, especially if you have just PVC cages. If you don't have like 50, if you don't have ARS or freedom meter racks, you just have PVC. You need air circulation. Like you could only, big time.
I've talked to a lot of people, like snake friends and breeders and all kinds of stuff, and people ask me questions, and they're like, and I've been over some facilities, people's houses, and you walk in and you go, it smells like moldy, right? It smells like an old basement, like that. And a lot of people do have in their basement, that old basement smell.
But my humidity's 80%. Yeah, that's too much.
And they're down there, and like I'm down there, I'm on. Guess what? I can't breathe. Your snakes can't breathe. Like
all of a sudden, I developed asthma.
Yeah.
I say right now, my humidity's sitting at 60%.
Yeah,
perfect, dude.
Like that's like spot on perfect. But that's also another thing where, you know, why I think about the fan sometimes. It's like, if I add another fan, is that going to drop that humidity? And then I'm not going to be at that perfect sweet spot anymore.
You'll be fine, though, Jeremy.
Nah, you'll be fine.
Like, I've had this room, and like, I always wanted around 50. It's like usually my sweet spot. Does this room get down sometimes into the fucking 30s and 20s? Yes, it does, man. Summertime, I got forced air, and I hate it. I'm spraying more than I know, though. I'm spraying more. I'm freaking running this humidifier a little harder. I'm shutting the door now. I'm doing the shit I have to do to try to get her up. But it happens because, like I said, that forced air comes on, boom, it takes the freaking moisture out of this air as soon as I put it on. And we're all dry and freaking snot cracked and lips cracked and all kinds of shit. Well, the humidity sucks at that point. But you got to do more now. You got to freaking now spray them a little bit more. Get a humidifier. Run 2 maybe. But then you have to be careful because, like I said, you're running a humidifier. You're running off regular water. Everything's turning white. So all your freaking racks and everything are all that is white, whatever. And they're breathing all that bullshit in, and so are you. Like, so you got to use stabilizers for the humidifiers. Yes, they cost money. Buy them, like, because you got to cut down on that shit. That's where it starts getting expensive. But you got to, like I said, I think husbandry is the number one fail in any kind of species of a reptile, because, like I said, it's very hard to like gauge. But once you get it, everything else starts falling into place. Once they're comfortable, they'll start eating better. They'll shed better. They'll do everything they need to do. They'll breed better. They'll do everything they need to do. So, as I said, in the very beginning, it's a lot of hard because, like I said, you're reading a sheet, 90, and all this stuff. I went off it too. I didn't know what ambient really meant. Like, oh, they're saying ambient 85, 86. Like, I'm doing 85, 86, but I have my hot spots at 90. Well, fuck, man, my room was cooking. I was cooking male sperm, throwing them in the girls, and they ain't getting shit because I freaking cooked the sperm out of them.
Your males look like SpongeBob when he got trapped in fucking, what's her name, the squirrels area. He was like fucking dry sponge.
Sandy cheeks. Yeah.
Sandy
My
cheeks.
first year ever, literally my first real year, I only had one clutch my first year. My second year, I really tried. 13 of the first 14 clutches were freaking slug outs. Wow. My males are too hot. I had my males. I thought I had them at 90. Guess what? My probes slipped. They were like 97. Ambient in the room.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, they were hot. I didn't lose any males, but I lost all their sperm. I lost
Well,
they were going in, locking, doing their thing. My girl's like, this is great. They're fucking building. They're doing everything. Shooting out slug trails. I went, but I found it, right? And I'm like, okay, I can't have this happen again. So I did this and I did that. I started checking shit better. And A lot of people, like, it happens to, they go, fuck, I quit. Fuck, I can't do this. It's like a lot of people do get there. They overload, and this is just now too hard because they're stressed. They might lose the male. The males might have died in this hot rack. I've seen it. So many hard stories. The thing is, like I said, just learn. Whatever you do, learn from it, and try not to do it again. Like I said, we're all human, man. Human error is human error.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's perfect. That's how I end up getting so good at this, because how much fuck ups I've done. You want to talk about messing it up? I messed it up. Everything, from incubating eggs to freaking breeding to putting them in the wrong racks to wrong substrate to wrong heated rooms. I've done every effing thing wrong you could possibly think of.
And you're getting free info, people.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I will say this: by listening to people like John and the Chris's and Nate and some other people on like YouTube that are reputable breeders,
fuck me.
listening to their, hardships, the stuff they've screwed up, has helped me not relive their mistakes. Now, I've made my own mistakes, but I haven't made theirs exactly, just because I took what they've learned, I've listened, and I've implemented it.
We can take the horse to water, but we can't make it drink.
Exactly, yes.
Here we go. Established, what everybody wants to call me. 3 years ago, I went to Nathan. I had an incubator I used for years, and it did well. It did great. I built it. It was a big hospital incubator, freaking whatever. I literally had a year where literally everything won at one time. So I had that thing. It held 54 clutches, and I had 58 in it. So let's just let that snake at how many effing snakes were in this incubator. I was opening up clutches and putting clutches in with clutches. So I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So what happened though? This was a huge lesson for me.
Got too hot.
I had made hotspots in a fucking incubator. And I had some of the best stuff I still haven't even made to yet and may never make again. Because I lost a couple snakes in that realm. Shit has happened. Snakes that'll never be on this planet due to this fuck up of mine. Literally, I have snakes that never bred again together, all kinds of shit. And I made hotspots in the incubator. Well, this thing has not failed me for like 7-8 years. I built this thing. Fucking cool. It's bulletproof. I lose a baby here, a baby there. That was common. Bro, the end of that season, I lost like 75 babies. Half clutches were pipping. Other half clutches were they were in there. Went all the way to term, coming out, dead. Talked to Nate, and he's like, John, he's like, what happened? Like, what? And I'm like, all right, this is what I did. And, we talked through it. Like, Nate's like an engineer kind of dude, right? He's like, well, it didn't have the air with the fans. It had nowhere to fucking circulate. What's it called? Air.
The airflow.
Air. Like I said, it's only ever, but before that, it was only ever occupied like 42 clutches or something. Plenty of room. That thing held 50 something. Well, I went beyond 50, put another 4, not small clutches either. This fucker was compact. So it's like kind of like taking a dough and put it all together and start squeezing it, right? You have hot spots in the dough. Same thing would happen in snakes. So I was having these clutches come out, and of course, like I said, God shining down on me. John got to learn the hard way. It's all the best snakes that were dying. So I was getting like a normal will come out. Okay, cool. Normal lived, but the fucking goddamn Enchi clown black pastel head pied.
Gone.
I made super blackheads that year, dude. We're talking it's going on 4 years. I made super blackhead clowns that ghost that year. I've never made one since till last year. I had 5 or 6 of them. I hit the ghost clown black pastel yellow belly fucking mahogany. Don't have one to this day. Still never made anything even close to that. Ghost clown. Watch the pip, dead. So could have quit that day. You know what I mean? Dude, I wanted to.
That would definitely make you feel sick to the gut.
If there was guns around, I might have. Remember, guys, this is back 4 years ago. This is after the COVID spike. These snakes were worth thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So a fuck up like that, knowing what I'm doing, knowing everything I know, so that could that happen to the point. Me and Nate got together and we designed a new incubator, which is that there. Not going far enough.
There you go. There you go.
So Nate got with me and we created a whatever. We put a false wall and we did every piece of what an incubator should be in case that ever came again, where that thing loaded, no matter if it was loaded, it would have the circulation to regulate, because I can never have that happen again.
No.
The very same year, my buddy Mel had an incubator issue. And like I said, I'm okay to clear to talk about this. His incubator spike, lost everything. So that's the same year I got the idea with the Amazon Alexa freaking plugs where I could turn them off being away from the house. Yep. So I learned a lot of incubator stuff that year.
I learned from that, yeah.
And every one of you guys, man, I talked to in depth about this shit because it was that quick, man. All the work I've done for so many years went down the toilet in one sweep.
Yep.
Movement. Like within a couple months, everything I've done for many years went flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, I got smart plugs on everything.
Your incubation, you should be investing the most money in next to your animals, because that is your whole season. I mean, that is like, yeah, that's one big. Don't overpack it. Don't pack your incubator.
That's why I've got the spider webs hooked up. That hooked up to the Husbandry Pro. Something changes in that, I get instant notifications.
Yep. Yeah, you can build your own. You can definitely build your own. Just talk to a couple people. Like, make sure you got some good info on building your own, and make sure that bitch is bulletproof. Like you said, good thermostat. Like I said, we know what good thermostats are at this point. It's no freaking secret, man. The bees are decent. Herb stats are decent. Spider webs are great with the herb stats. Yeah. Don't put yourself a little freaking Zoom Med freaking.
At the Govies.
That's another great thing. The Govies, like then you have sensor pushes and the Govies are great. I went with Govee, but I also did 2 Govies in my thing. I have 2 of the same thing, top and bottom, 2 of the same, which I have 4 Govies in that incubator. We dealt with last year. I don't know if I ever even talked about this. My fan failed in this incubator.
I don't know. I think I do remember that vaguely.
Breeding season.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was breeding season was over, but there's always a sound in these rooms, right? Your fans. Well, I had when my power goes out, my fans go off, and
it gets real quiet. It's real quiet when fans go off.
So I left them off, but when I turned the incubator back, I always hear this slight because they're in.
Like,
well, I didn't hear it. I'm like, open my incubator door. I'm like, okay, fucked with the dial. I'm like, oh shit. So I got back with Nate, and we ordered the fan again. And again, it's because of humidity. I was putting water in the bottom of this humidifier because I was humidifying the boxes with the press and seal, but I also humidified because this was habit. I was humidifying my whole incubator with a bucket of water in the bottom, distilled water. It would incubate my whole thing in case my press and seal wasn't being good up. You always want your incubator 100% humidity, basically. Like, you can keep it there also.
Like killing your fan?
But I killed my fans with the fucking incubator being 100%. So think about it. Like, that thing's now, fans are running. It's evaporating. This is going on for 2 years and whatever. It's been here. Looked up. I had a little corrosion on my fans. It's a box. Boom. Bang, bang, bang. Here we go again, man. I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm running into this fucking thing now. But I wouldn't have known that without the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't need it was just an extra precaution. I didn't need to do the bottle of water or the bucket of water in the bottom of this thing. I'm pressing sealing it. They're incubated on water. But it was just another thing that I took from the past because it worked and just implemented into the future, which was overkill and didn't need to. And I could have if that would have happened, just say this year, potential 50 clutches in there, I could have lost the whole damn fucking incubator again. Right? So
Jamie, as long as you built it good, man, and like you didn't skip on. Like,
I'm not telling you.
Like,
I'm not telling you stories to scare anybody. Like,
right.
These stories are just basically just keep an eye on your shit. Just basically, if you do have fans in your incubator, buy a backup.
Yep, yeah. I've got a set of backups, and I check my freaking fans every day, and I check the thermostat every day, even though it's hooked up to the Husbandry Pro to get the notifications. I still check everything every time I'm down here.
If you got heat tape running down the back, it's a 6-foot piece of heat tape. Have another one sitting in the drawer.
Yep.
Brand spanking.
Especially for your incubator.
That thing burns up or whatever happens, like it just goes out. Just have another one sitting there. My buddy Mel, like I said, we were talking about him because what happened with him, me and Nate put this fan in. Nate ordered it. Guess who bought me another freaking backup fan? I was going to do it. He showed up here my next day because, like I said, we talked about the Showtime, and he brought me a present of a new fan. And he said, put this in your backup file. Dude, it was one of the most heartfelt things I've ever felt. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
God damn, bro. Thank you. Like, he was thinking about my backup before I thought about my backup. Because of all the shit I tell him.
Oh, he likes your backup.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, bro, it melted the heart. I was like, damn, bro, like you're thinking about my shit, right? And he's like, it's because, like you said, you helped me like so much talking about this kind of stuff. It's in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
Human error, freaking stuff is always meant to break down.
Yep. Anything made by humans is going to break at some point. I always have extra thermostats. Like, have extra of everything.
Yeah, your thermostats, especially have another one or two of you. Like I said, I know some people just can't afford to have another $400 thermostat sitting in the hanging. Is if I'm going to use it one day or not. Have something there, $20 thermostat, just to get you by to you get your next $400.
Yeah. If you don't have a Herbstat 6, have a Herbstat 1, have a Herbstat 2, something.
Anything. That's when you have your Zoom at sitting in the drawer wound up going, okay, I only need you for like 2 days.
Exactly.
Right.
Or your hydrostatic. Yeah, your $30 Amazon John. Get that. Stick it in the fucking drawer. Your Inkbird. Yep.
It was like when I went through and I finished converting everything over to the spider webs, I kept, a Herbstat 2 just as a backup. I sold some other stuff, that I didn't need thermostat wise. But I made sure I had a Herbstat 2 on backup.
I never tell people they have to like buy brand new equipment and all that shit. But one thing I would tell people to try to buy brand new is thermostats and heat tape.
Yeah, definitely the heat tape. I would not
thermostats. If you can get a nice used Herbstat 6 and it's a year old, cool, buy it. You know what I mean? No problem.
For sure.
Somebody's getting out, buy it. But if you see a guy, like I said, it says Herbstat Pro and it's got more freaking rat dander sitting in the freaking vents and the cords are so gnawed up because rats hit it and shit. Leave that shit to lay on that dude's table because he's selling it to you because he bought a brand new one.
Exactly.
Right? So you go buy a brand new one too. Don't take that freaking piece of shit and put it on your stuff because you're going to fuck it up.
You know what? These days, when you look at the amount of money that you can spend on a Herbstat 4, it's like $375, $380 for Herbstat 4 Spider Robotics. You're going to spend 4 times that on a stud male or female that you're going to put in that rack that Herbstat's going to be running. And you're going to have 40 of those fucking animals in that rack. So take 40 times $2,000. You're paying $400, $450 for a good thermostat for $80,000 in snakes. So think about it.
It's such great advice because, like you said, we'll just do it even simple terms so people don't, if they don't want to even get crazy with 40. 10 bins, you buy a snake. Say your budget's $400. $400 times 10.
4 G's.
You right? A Herbstat 1 will do that one rack, or even a Herbstat 2, maybe if it's a dual zone, right?
$200.
How much is that per bin? Would you spend basically $20 per bin?
$20 per bin
to keep your snake alive and healthy? I know I would.
You spend $20 on breakfast at Wawa a day, and I even sweat it, and you won't sweat that for your $4,000 investment. Come on.
Hell, that's almost the thing. I mean, that's 2 days of smoking. Jared, you could trust that Herbstat you got from me. I wasn't told you.
That was he bought a new one. That one's my backup too, Tara. It's a backup of a backup.
You guys know what the hell I'm saying. Jeremy bought spider webs because they were whatever. That's why he upgraded. And them things, Jeremy's only been doing this for 4 days, so that Herbstat wasn't even that fucking old. But anyway,
Jeremy don't know what the hell he's talking about.
You know what fucking thermostats I'm talking about. I see them on freaking people's tables all the time. These Rankos from 1983 and
with electrical tape on the thermostat
the
wire.
The button's been used so much, the freaking inside of the freaking
it's rubbed off.
Out of it, yeah. Like,
yep. Now I gotta make sure my fans work.
But I tell, like I said, I talk myself at a lot of sales because I'll talk to especially newer people about it. I'll be like, do you have this? Do you have that? And like they're like, well, I want to get another snake. And I'll be like, before you get another snake, like get the husbandry, get your rack. You don't gotta buy a brand new rest, but go buy a nice little, even if you find a used sea serpents or a nice whatever. Make sure, and if the heat tape even looks weird or whatever, just put some heat tape in it, right?
Yep.
Spend the freaking $60.
So heat tape is inexpensive. when you think about it.
It is. It
Just
really
like the
is.
thermostat for the racks. In the grand scheme of things, it is inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, but this is a luxury item. Like I said, these when you can start getting these, they're expensive. I get it, man. $2,500, $3,000, whatever. It gets expensive. It does hold a lot of snakes, but a lot of people don't have a lot of snakes yet.
Yeah.
So basically, like I said, get some of that. Like, just get them low as you need them, and then just keep adding on to it. But every time you want to add another, just get some more racks. So, and like I said, make sure your heat tape's good. Your thermostat. It's funny, like as we're talking about this, man. It's like the number one thing I push is thermostats and heat tape. It's just I've had my most problems doing this ever. Is both of them.
I get the thermostat thing is my huge thing. I've had a couple people look at me. Well, I can't afford a thermostat. Well, if you bought several snakes, you could have afforded. You could have bought a thermostat. Like you could even get like the Zoom Med ones. I mean, what was that one that the Inkbird is it?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Inkbird therm like they're not super expensive and they will do the job. It is better than nothing.
I'll tell you what, I have the one Inkbird, the Wi-Fi one.
Nuts, man.
It's like the Inkbird 2, whatever, the Wi-Fi one. It's got an app, dude. I love that thing.
What do you have it on, Chris?
I got it on 2 heat panels for the black milks.
Perfect. That's a perfect spot for Inkbirds and whatever. Like,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, I'm not using it on this.
You're using them on enclosures, use them on it. It's not pulling a ton of waters of a 40 freaking bin rack. It's like perfect scenario. If it shuts off, it's not going to freaking just shuts off right there on them kind of snakes. It's not going to kill them.
Yeah.
It's not gonna spike up on them. Like I said, some of these freaking ones, they spike the other way where it's instant heat. That's where it gets scary.
I really like,
and I don't mind a freaking the thermostat wants to break and shut off. Okay, cool.
Perfect. I really like the app. I like the app.
Yeah. But that's the thing though. Like, if people can afford to buy more animals, if you got multiple animals, and you didn't even put that first animal on a thermostat, we've got a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather somebody use the Inkbird over, like I said, just a dial or some makeshift dial. Dude, I've seen fucking goddamn thermostats out of a switch with the freaking fader on it, like a house switch.
Yes.
Do you ever seen that shit back in the day? They would literally take house switches.
Yeah, that's ghetto.
And that's how they would dial their heat.
What's up, Afonso?
House switch.
Dude, I've seen people use like a house dimmer, like a dimmer switch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like
a little
problem.
The toggle turn to push the button to make it turn on and all that shit. Yeah. And they used to make them out of their own extension cords and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yep.
Fire hazard.
When I started, it was all Rankos, right? On-offs. And Rankos run industrial hospitals and shit. They're not bad thermostats. But we are waving, and like I said, they would have their own extension cords running into them with boxes on the end of them that were industrial boxes. But we moved so far past that. We're talking 12, 13 years now later. These little fucking herpstats for $200 for like a herpstat 2, $250.
Yep.
Oh, it's that little son of a bitch. Just buy it.
Yep.
It's not worth it.
It is 10:15 almost, guys. I say we wrap this up. I'm actually getting hungry. I have not had supper yet because took care out the Texas Roadhouse for a very early lunch.
Oh, you went to Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah, she wanted to go. All right, she wanted to go for the margarita. You know how much of that margarita she drank?
They're good. They're good.
I can't do sweet. I can't do
Did
sweet.
she get the
She
extra
drank
side?
maybe half of it, and then she said, "I'm done with it." I'm like, "What? What?"
Sweet tooth.
You all right there, John?
You know who's coming.
He's killing the cat. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's Jawa.
I say that's Jawa. That's not Obi. I do want just for Shelly here. I'm going to show something off quick.
For me.
He was coming for his nightly love.
Keep it PG.
Yeah, right.
Player talking. Being too loud for you.
Let me put it up on.
Oh, there's a peacock egg in there. What do you got there? Oh yeah, look at him.
Oh, I like that little stand thing in there. That's cool.
Ooh, that's like a dark green.
Well, see, like in person though, it's actually more like an evergreen green.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that white yellow undertone.
That cocoa is pretty fucking clean too.
Yeah, look at
ugly
that.
ass
No
snake.
hairs or nothing. Nice and chunky.
But that's what I
That's how you like it.
Chris, that freaking photo of you sitting there with that damn pillow was so fucking disturbing. It's funny.
It's so disturbing. Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody just tuning in and seeing that, being like, "What the hell is going on there?"
That's a picture of him. He's hugging a picture of himself.
I love
and,
mine.
and the fact that it's on stickers and pillows and everything else is very disturbing.
Just sitting there in a little thumbnail. I'm just looked up. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Oh God. Everybody, I will try to do my best to get a video out this week. This week was just absolutely just a terror for me, to say the least. Plus, I've been having some really, like, I don't know, I've been having a hard time, like, coming up with what can I put out there. So after we're done with this live, folks, in the comments, in the comment section for the video, not the live comments, drop me some ideas for some video content that you would like to see me do, and
Pro placement.
do it. What's that?
Why don't you do one on pro placement?
Ooh, I like that one.
That's actually a good one.
But since we're talking about it tonight, all this freaking herpstat and probes, and you want on like how to hook up the herpstat. Do you do plugs, Jeremy, for the pushes to your phone?
No, I don't do plugs for the pushes to the phone. That's what the spider webs just.
You can talk about the spider web, how that works. You can talk about pro placement, what you look forward to, how you set the parameters of when you get a push notification, too hot, too cold.
That's actually good. That's
Make sure
actually
there's no fans by your probes.
You can talk about fan placement in your room, like stuff like that. Just like do a little mini series on the husbandry of the snakes, basically, because I think a lot of people have gotten far away from that. We're just talking about like the breeding aspect of it or genetics. Start going back to how we get here and keep these guys alive.
That's actually a good dude. Like, and this is why I say this shit, because it's something like I get tunnel vision on what I'm doing, and I forget about other stuff. And that's a good one. I'm actually gonna write that down so I don't forget.
Or just rip off one of Kai's videos.
Yeah, right. Go during closure.
There's definitely videos out there, but there really hasn't been much updated kind of videos on some of this shit. Like spiderweb, like I don't really remember really seeing much about that on the internet so far. Like the pushes and all the notifications.
See, I was gonna do a video going over setting up the spider webs to your Husbandry Pro and stuff like that.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though. You've got to put in a number, and I don't know how to black out that number on the computer.
What are you worried about?
Because all they have to do is enter in that number, and they can access my thermostat and really fuck it up.
Can you do a little blur box?
Nobody would do that.
You edit it. If
What's
you edit
that?
your video, put a little blur box over it.
See, I don't know how to do that, though. I'd have to play. I mean, I could.
Nathan? Where's Nathan at?
You leave Nathan alone this week. He's too busy.
Yeah, I don't want to bother Nate.
I'll give you something to blur out.
I'll let you know when it's safe to bother him again.
John was on his deathbed coming into work just so that way Nate was okay.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
This is true.
Every time Nathan got something more in his mind and something more he can't tell me, and I go, oh shit. When I ask a question, he already has 80 questions, and he's like, I'm like, oh. Overload.
Next week's guest, everybody, will be the one and only Kai from Lucas Landing. That brought that up about ripping Kai off, because Kai is next week's guest.
We're gonna rip him off, all right.
Call Kai how to do a blackout box. Kai's
we're getting a rip off Danny.
We get the Timu Danny.
Timu Danny.
Hey, I think Temu's going to become higher end stuff now because I was heard through the grapevine they were losing their ass through tariffs.
Oh wow.
Going to go high end now, maybe. I don't know.
You got my wife with them damn plants.
We'll see.
Freaking the plant people.
Yeah, green thumb over there.
Next thing you know, you're gonna see some baseball cards on this table. Pokemon cards, my fault.
I'll bring the plants. I'm not bringing any Pokemon.
Pokemon, you need Pokemon, Star Wars, and Trump. That's
yeah.
There's
If
all
you
my
Star
plants.
Wars cards, don't be trying to make me buy them. Just freaking give them to me. 'Cause I ain't gonna buy shit.
Yeah, we don't
I'll
buy.
take them. I ain't buying them. No.
See, Danny should learn from us. Basically, literally, we're both Star Wars nuts. When both look at the cards, we're like, I ain't paying for that shit.
He comes there. This is such a cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool, Danny. Yeah.
I'll be damned if I'm paying.
Appreciate him showing it to me because I mean it's neat stuff, but not gonna buy it.
Oh, but I ain't buying
I
that.
cut paper up all day. I ain't buying, collecting paper.
Collect the paper. I'm gonna collect the plastic before I collect the paper.
Yep. I chop paper up all day. Put it in the trash and freaking send it out, man. Nope, I ain't buying no paper.
Oh man. All right, everybody. That's gonna be it for tonight. Also, before I forget, if you want to come to the barbecue June 21st, I need to know now. Message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I can get you details and all that stuff, but I need to know now. Otherwise, if we run out of food, because I'm not going to be buying a crap ton of extra, Mel and I are kind of basing it off of numbers that I've got right now.
We're not running out of food.
If we run out, it's on whoever didn't tell me freaking numbers. We'll all blame you, and
you got to give everybody a Warful Morph sticker. Freaking snap it on their chest. They're the ones that all pre-qualified. If they don't have the Warful Morph sticker on, you get to snap it, of course, they touch the food.
Is Mel catering the whole thing?
You got to vet everyone.
Sticker eat first.
Somebody's in line without a sticker, bro. You're taking a fork. I'm sorry.
A plastic fork to the back.
You better stop. You better have your little Wawa bag with you.
Chatty Daddy.
No,
Chatty Daddy's coming to the barbecue.
He better, damn it. He better not cop out.
We're not running out of food. We'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to be spending a shit ton of money for a whole bunch of food. Then I got to become a fat ass and eat it all.
Jeremy, don't worry about it. I'll take it with me, too. All right.
Don't worry. We're taking it home. You'll be fine.
We got your back. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'll take
as long as
I believe in your diet.
Did you see Sorrentino?
We will help you not get fat. Don't
Give me
worry.
that meat.
You won't leave food.
Give me the meat.
Give me Mel's meat.
Especially Mel's
June
meat.
21st. June 21st.
Bro, I need to lose like 15, 20 pounds for the party because I got your party and then the baby's birthday party back to back. Freaking both catered by Mel. I am putting on probably 30 pounds in 2 weeks. It's not going to be good.
Yes, Mel's doing that too. Yes.
See, I'm
excited.
I can't be at the birthday party because I've got a gun show that weekend.
Yes.
So that's why I can't be.
I know, man. I sucks. But I'll see you the week before.
Yeah.
You
figure Gettysburg shortly after that anyway, so you'll be sick and tired of me.
Go make that money, sell them guns.
Make it so that way I can go buy more green trees because Gary Shavino has to post freaking amazing red neonates that make me comment and say I want. And
how about you go buy some freaking cool ass snakes from your friend is over here, a Triforce Morph that is seeing how pretty they are.
So just walking by them.
They don't fit your projects. That's how maybe you should come see me and spend some of that money. Instead of using me as a promotional tool in one of your freaking tool videos, come see me, Jeremy.
I need TSK though. I took your last TSK.
Bro, they all could be TSK.
Whatever you want, baby.
They'll be whatever you want them to be. You can send it to Charlie for shed testing. I just have to pay Charlie off of the money you get.
I was going to say, you're paying Charlie for positive tests because that last one I took.
I'm like, Jeremy, I was like, Charlie, got him on the hook for $2,000. Give me $1,000. Just say it's TSK.
Just say it's TSK.
Dude, this guy here, sells snakes to everybody as, you know, it's pos het this or pos het that, and they all freaking prove out all year long. That's all here. Oh, this pos het proved out. This pos het proved out. I would get I get a snake that's pos double het, and you know what? That son of a bitch ain't het for nothing.
This is what you get for going
Oh, it
into
happens to you too.
Hold up. This is what you get for going into my bargain bin, buying POTS double heads instead of buying my fucking 100% double heads.
But you didn't have one. That super blackhead wasn't in an option of a.
Jeremy, I just literally gave Paul a freaking 2 weeks ago a super blackhead, black pastel, clown, 100% head hypo.
Where the fuck was that at?
Sitting on my fucking table all year.
But it wasn't there when I bought this one, though.
Well, that's your fault. You don't wait. I told you they were coming.
You got to make this shit earlier. You got to make it when I need it, John.
This guy's buying a POTS head.
Hey, can you two girls fight on your own time?
Paul's like, all right. He's like, all right, you fuckheads. Nobody wants this snake. Oh, zoink. Thank you very much. I had that
what's up,
my
Aaron?
fourth market for $800. Nobody bought it. I'm like, whatever.
There's a couple of your super blackhead shits that you have on your table. I like every time I gravitate to the same freaking snake, and every time it's like, no, you can't do you've got just walk away, Jeremy. Just walk away.
Red
every
neonate
and
green
no one
tree.
buys it to stop me from having the temptation, which is worse. It's oh my god. John got me on this freaking super blackhead kick.
We're next year or 2 years from now when the snakes are out. I'm like, yes, I told you what you should have bought. Nope, nope.
No, boss, no.
Nope. I bought a green tree. That's still gonna wait 15 years for it to breed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what?
Sit down by the river.
So damn pretty. It does suck. I want to hold the sucker so bad. It's like, nope, can't hold it. Just pull it out. Yep, you're freaking pretty as hell. Close the tub.
You don't pick it up?
No.
Pick it up.
There's so little. I'm afraid.
It'll go in the just let it come on your hand.
Yeah, if you let it just crawl and don't force it, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go picking him up and unwinding him off the tree and be like,
oh yeah, no, I would never do that. No, I definitely would never
unwind. Put your hand there, he'll crawl onto it and just perch on it and just sit there.
Or he'll bite you.
No, it'll bite me and But I'm used to that though. I mean, shit, let's face it.
It's so little, it won't even hurt right now. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Dude, they're just so freaking majestic looking though. So freaking majestic. But anywho, all right, guys, I gotta go make some supper.
Good night.
We feel like almost another 15 freaking minutes. We all have problems. Everybody, have an awesome rest of the week. Again, drop some ideas for videos in the comments after this live because John gave me a killer one, which is probably what we'll do this week if I can make it happen. So drop some other ideas. Buy a customized pillow from Sorrentino if you want to possibly, scar anyone in your household for the rest of your life or make them think that there's a midget running around the house. Have an awesome rest of the week, folks, and we will see you next week here, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Kai from Lucas Landon Royals.
Okay.
I can't do that.
Good night. Peace be with you.
Live long and prosper, folks. May the force be with you.
Always.
See you later.